Oh, I'm sick, so enjoy the voice.
So basically, the recap of what happened last episode is that the crew of the USS Sappho had been about a year out into their journey exploring the Shackleton Reach, and they had everything was going fine. It was just another day, and then suddenly there was a unexplained explosion that happened elsewhere on the ship. There was a call for evacuation. At that point, the staff that we have here scramble to get people out, save people as best they could, expedite the evacuation. Which point they got out into escape pods. In the escape pods, they helped rescue some other pods. After with a bit of clever, shall we say, fuzzy engineering and deflector control. At that point, they came down to a planet which initially was designated at Class L, I believe. And and as they were like, well, we have to go somewhere, and that's where all the other pods crashed. So that's where we're going, if nothing else, to keep us together, help them out. Plus, there was no other planets that had an atmosphere of any kind. When they landed, it actually turned out to be a Class M planet, ice world, but still Class M. It's breathable atmosphere, just super cold. They built a base camp. Some people almost died from frostbite, but that managed to be stopped. After that, they were able to build their base camp. They went around, scanned a bit for some odd signatures. One of the signatures was a crashed site, which unfortunately all hands were lost as far as people could tell from one team. That team, I believe, was led by Lieutenant Garrix, and Lieutenant Garrix actually had the misfortune of running into a strange alien creature. Looks kind of like a manta ray, but it's kind of white color. It's kind of a light blue color, and it can kind of cloak in with the ice. Him and his security team were able to fight them off. I don't think you guys killed it. I think it was just stunned, and you just left it alone. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I was stunned.
So that site was okay. There was a second site that had some life forms in it that were determined to be non-humanoid. That hasn't been touched yet. Base camp, the doctor had to stop a minor morale crisis among the crew, or the surviving crew. Of the surviving crew, there was 140 aboard the Sappho. There are only 90 survivors, and not all of them are officers and crew. Some of them are civilians.
But I saved all the kids.
All of his kids, yes, not all the kids of the ship.
Yeah, we did lose a bunch of children.
Yeah, that is a hit right there.
It happens. Starship explodes.
It does.
And this is why you shouldn't bring kids into space. Anyways.
I'll remark as well that the remains of the Sappho, someone, I believe it was Jolson, had scanned for the remains of the ship. The ship basically was missing like its first deck and like a couple other decks. Like they were just not there, as if they never existed. And then the ship's warped and buckled and then eventually just vanished out of existence. Later determined that it might have been transported, but it's too big for any known transporter technology, so who knows what happened to the Sappho. What else? Oh yes, one team then went up to find a weird chronoton signature, and from there they found a ship, the USS Victoria, a Centaur-class ship that had chronoton radiation aftermath in it. That team then found out about a strange warp engine system and were able to get the ship up and running. Not before, of course, our most unfortunate Ensign Washburn got a nasty dose of chronoton radiation point blank due to a rather nice spirit in the universe liking him so much.
And then Andorian flu.
Trying to think if there's anything. Oh yes, we last left off with the crew having just having the senior staff having gathered at the Victoria, and they had gotten control of the ship through some brute force hacking from Lieutenant Commander Jal. And that's where we roughly left off. Is there any major points I glossed over too much or I missed completely?
We
lost two more crew members in the cargo bay or in the shuttle bay.
Yeah,
they were just killed instantly. Yeah.
And we did determine, and we did restore power to the Victoria. We have warp power, I believe.
We don't have any. We haven't gotten off the planet yet.
Yeah, we haven't had any rolls yet, so that's
Yeah,
all.
but-
We're just
we
right
do have-
now. We have control.
You do have main power. There is that.
Yeah, we have main power. We just haven't actually checked the systems yet, but we have juice, which is important.
Yes.
Okay, so just for my clarification, because this is a strange point to me now, the Victoria's on the planet, not in space.
Correct.
Right.
It was found with its nose down into the snow, and initially scans hadn't picked it up because it was not giving off a lot of reading. It wasn't like fully charged. It was just a lump of metal on a ice world. It wasn't until the crew walked up on top, like visually eyeballed it, and went, "Oh, that's a starship. We should investigate that." The nose of it's pointed down. The reason that matters is that the shuttlecraft bay for Centaur classes is in the front, roughly where 10 forward would be. So that added a wrinkle to any efforts to use the shuttles for evacuation.
Yeah. Although we have an idea about how to fix that.
Use the shuttle transporters at least to get everybody over here, but yeah, we still have issues.
Well, we're still gonna have to dislodge ourselves, but anyway.
Yeah.
Is there anything else with the recap, or am I doing the thing? Yes. We found out that Instant Wash had the Andorian flu for no reason.
Oh,
Kidding.
you gotta hate that.
Yeah, you gotta. It's fine. Anyway.
No, I think we're caught up.
I think we are caught up.
Very well. We will begin our first scene in the
Okay, cool.
ready room of the Victoria.
Oh.
As Jal has finally had a moment to finally get in there and sit down and just get their thoughts together. That's a little louder than I needed.
Yeah. She goes, computer, acting captain's log, stardate 53658.02. Where to begin? As of this recording, the U.S. SAFO is lost. I've failed in my job as chief of security, and I've lost my ship, 42 crew members. I should have done more to save people, save more people. I should have found the captain. Anyway, on the bright side, we were able to find a ship. Luckily, the crew left has been performing admirably and are currently looking over what may be, if not our way home, our home for the foreseeable future. So I'm hoping that at some point I will get a report and maybe we'll finally get some good news. End log.
Kids are fine.
Glad to hear it, Ensign. Glad to hear it.
But yeah, that was the end. Sorry.
At this point, do you call any particular department from there? Is there anything you do from your room?
Yeah. Lieutenant Garrix, can you please come to my ready room?
Right away, Captain.
And she just sits back and like, just to herself, and is like, "That's so weird to say right now." Okay. And she just psychs herself up to like be the steadying force for the ship.
How could I help you, Captain?
How are we on maybe getting either thrusters to work for now, or if at all possible, maybe even taking off? Do you think that you have a good understanding of enough of the engine to possibly make an assumption?
Oh, well, I'm not worried about thrusters as much as I'm worried about that experimental warp core we're dealing with. It's hard. I mean, I've been looking through the engineering logs, but it's hard to tell exactly how it'll perform once we actually get out of here. Thrusters, though, I mean, it's pretty simple assembly. It just took me a little bit to familiarize myself with the specifics of this class. I haven't served on a Centaur before.
Same.
At this moment, Garrix, you can roll the check. I'm pulling up the numbers here. The check that you look through the logs, I'll give you some information on what you found out in the time you've had to examine the log. That's going to be a insight or reason plus engineering roll, difficulty 2, complication 2, assisted by ship's computer plus engineer.
Would focus in emergency repairs apply?
Not for looking over the logs, no.
Does the starship get the complication range also?
Let's say no.
Oh, I meant to do that. I clicked 1. Do you want me to re-roll that?
I'll just take the first one. It's cool. All right. That is 1. Does anyone want to track that, or shall I?
One momentum.
1 moment. So Garrix, what in particular were you hoping to get from the logs?
Mostly I wanted to get if they were primarily data about how the heatsink system works, how the heat sinks were holding up, and any modifications they had made to them up to the end, towards the end of the log.
The logs show that originally the heatsink, there was no temporal displacement, heat displacement system, the system that throws the heat away up to a light year. That's a new thing that they discovered in their in the last 10, 20 years. Originally, what they would do is they would run the heat blocks for as long as possible until they just failed, and then they'd replace them. So there was always a stock in the cargo bay of a new heatsink. But that isn't really tenable. They were trying to find a way for a long time how to make the heatsink blocks of the engine core more reliable. But it's eventually they got to the rather wild solution of time traveling the heat away in effect. It's not entirely what happens because that's not how heat works, but that's in effect what they've done. That's a half answer, though. They had just come up with that in the last 5 or so years. So
Okay,
the technology still needs to be perfected before it runs smoothly. Because as you know from after action reports from yesterday, as it were, it hasn't. There are some effects, some side effects, such as chronoton radiation purges.
Got it. Do I know if if the Victoria had the chronoton displacement in effect the entire time, or is that something they installed after they had been using the core block engine?
That's a byproduct of the temporal displacement. The heat blocks themselves don't do that. So normal operating, chronoton shouldn't be flooding the room. It does do it at a low level, but not enough that anyone would notice. It's only when it's doing the silent running protocol or cool running protocol that that surge can occur.
Cool. All right. Well, Essentially, Captain, it looks the chronoton displacement for the silent running is fairly new development. This design has actually been in theoretical stages for going on 20 years. Still, I wasn't aware that they had produced one for the field. So until we have more empirical data, it's going to be. I'd recommend not pushing the engines too hard.
But do you think that we can push them hard enough to get off the planet? If we, well, ideally.
As far as I know, it should interfere with running thrusters or impulse power. It's just when we fire up the warp, actually go to warp, I have some worries.
Okay. All right. If you could try and do a little bit more research on the engines, I don't want us to, explode again. Also, if you could check and realign the deflector dish, just in case after we get it out of the snowbank, because it has been sitting there for a while.
I'll get right on that. I'll add it to the list. We have teams working around the clock, so hopefully it shouldn't be too much longer. We should be able to get out of here before the storm hits, if if we're lucky.
If you can find any civilians with engineering experience, please ask if they would pitch in when we get them here to augment your engineering team.
Of course, Captain. I'd be glad to.
All right. You are dismissed, Lieutenant. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain.
All right. And I will actually get up and go onto the bridge where I assume I will find Wash or somebody.
Wash
if not Jolson.
Well, I would assume my character would be there at that point.
I would probably be on the bridge unless I have something else to do.
Chief of Operations.
Right. Sensor operator. That's right.
Not sensor operator. Isn't sensor still science?
I think it's a combination. Like, ops is a combination of the two.
Okay.
Science is that word. Ops is just everything making sure that the ship and everything on the ship runs.
Yeah.
But it has science with it to make sure the ship runs, right? So, it is specifically about the ship itself, though, not outside.
Yeah, it's power regulation.
And personnel. Oh.
Well, that's good. You're a lieutenant, right?
Yes, I believe so.
All right.
Quickly
Field
check
promotion.
on caller.
Ensign Harry Kim.
Field promotion. I'm not used to being called lieutenant as of yet.
Okay, now
yeah.
No, I'm just
Yeah, there are a few of us getting used to new titles.
Mm-hmm.
I would like you, if possible, to I do kind of want you to do an internal scan, and then I was going to have Jolson do a planetary one.
All right, I can do that.
I'll see what she can do.
What do we got?
We are going to. Who's the first? Which role?
Internal sensors.
Just scanning over the ship, or?
Yeah, for either rogue electronics or other life signs. I kind of want to make sure we're actually alone on this ship, kind of thing.
All right.
My tactical brain is thinking there's a lot of decks on this ship, and there are not a lot of people here.
That's going to be security reason. This is an opposed test.
It's reason security? Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could I argue there should be an engineering check because we are specifically scanning for rogue electronics and that type of thing?
I would. The way I see it is that the engineering is seeing that things are working fine, but if there's some sort of sabotage or other device that's trying to evade scans, you need a security mind to ferret out what's a false reading and what's a sensor shadow.
Can I get an assist from the lieutenant?
You certainly can.
Okay.
Who's
And
assistant?
have theirs be an engineer? Selena.
Okay, wait. Who's doing primary and who's doing assist here then?
I'm doing the primary.
All right.
And you can assist with engineering.
All right. I will do that then.
Is the
So
ship assisting?
Ship is assisting via sensors.
I'm going to give you a threat.
So since we're using sensors, the sensors operations apply
There's
For
no
you.
as a focus.
but sensors con, sensor science.
No, they have. For the
A
ship.
focus. No, I have a focus in sensor operations, which is why I'm asking.
Oh yes, that focus does apply.
Okay.
Here we
So-
go. Let's see if this will act right tonight. I'm going to re-roll that 0.
Come on, click the 1.
It's 2.
And what's the
Nothing.
ship rolling?
Sensor security, I think.
Yeah. How close did I miss?
3 successes.
That is a terrible roll.
Can someone roll for me, please, a single assist die from the ship in the form of security
Security what?
security computers?
Single die roll. Security computers. I.
Thank you. Spending a threat. So that is 1v2, I believe.
1v3.
Hmm?
If
One
you were
success
talking
versus
about-
one success?
Well, I made 2 on mine.
Yeah, we had 3. You have.
Oh, I
2
see it
so
now. Yep,
far.
sorry. I didn't scroll up high enough. My bad.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3. You're gonna bank 1 momentum. As you're scanning about the ship, the initial focus seems to be on things like. So hold on.
I mean, I could do that too.
Now that
I got a
everybody's
couple of
coming
things
onto
that
the
apply,
bridge,
but
No.
I'm
No,
kidding.
it's fine.
I mean, I do have things that apply, but I'm not going to be that player.
Okay.
everybody else
You do
is.
find that is 3v2. Yes.
No,
Yes.
Ship assisted 1, 2, and 3 versus.
I got a ship assist. I got 1 and 1 on a reroll, so I got 3.
The tie here is going to go to the crew in this case. Oh wait, no, ties cancel out, don't they? Yeah.
Well,
Unless-
in that case, I have maintenance specialist. I could technically re-roll. Well, if I was primary, I think I could re-roll. I don't think it allows me to re-roll an assist.
Did your assist die fail?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can re-roll that. Yeah.
All right. Re-rolling.
Hope for the best.
Can only get one worse.
Don't
Come
say
on,
that.
come on.
Well, it can always get worse.
We give them enough threat as it is.
You
That's
give
4
that.
versus 3.
Boom, baby.
She's very animated for Vulcan.
Yes.
I'm gonna spend 4 threat. Winchester,
Holy
could you
crap.
re-roll your 2 fails?
Oh man.
I already re-rolled one of them.
Oh,
Could only re-roll one.
Only 2 threat. Haha.
yeah, I can re-roll one of those.
Looks like it's still a failure.
I mean, yeah, good job. So as you're scanning, you do notice that initial scans you're looking for anomalies in the electronics, sabotage boxes, bombs, things that are
Yeah.
drawing more power than they should, and you're not finding any of that, thankfully. But there is a reading. There's an anomalous reading of something moving around on deck 10. Then it moves to deck 11. It's moving around, and it seems to have full access to the ship, and it's making commands. Nothing harmful, but it's not anything authorized. It's nothing that you guys are doing.
Captain, I do believe, if I'm reading the sensor readings correct, we have an anomaly between decks 10 and 11. Quite possibly a life form of some kind.
Possibly an
Or
intruder.
machine.
All right. Do we have any security personnel at the moment?
Joe, I'm going to ask you to see how many you're able to in the last few hours since yesterday.
Yeah.
How many people you're able to get from base camp? I'm going to call for command presence. Difficulty, we'll say 1, honestly.
All right.
Could I continue to track that anomaly, where it goes and what systems it's affecting?
I am spending a momentum for a 3rd dice.
You can. Though you're limited in no... oh, no, you can track it. Never mind. Or you're right.
And here we go. Three successes.
Bank 2 momentum. And roll for me your command in chat. Washburn wandering around the bridge.
Oh no, I had some, but every time I went to speak, there was something going on, so I've just been waiting.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, nothing bad though. It's one of those that since everybody's working on the ship, the kids are in the conference room, and so initially I called just because now everybody's on the bridge. I was getting somebody from one of the civilians to come get the kids for me since we're busy now. But checking on them.
Easily done.
Yep,
Yeah.
and go back to my seat.
I also have something I want to talk to the captain about eventually.
With that amount of rolls, you do have brain. The security support NPCs are available, and there are security teams aboard ship. They were part of the groups that you made sure came over with the initial waves of survivors on foot.
Okay. I'm assuming 2 of them are on the bridge. I'm going to point at them and say, "You and you with me." And I am going to go down to deck 11. I am going to say though, Jolson, I would like you to try and get with the ensign and try and get us from being nose deep in this snowbank.
Okay.
And Lieutenant, and I'm looking at Selena. You seem like you needed to
Yes.
talk. Come with me. as we go.
Captain, no, I can say what I had to say
Okay.
here. It's just a theory, and perhaps Jensen can confirm this, but it should not be too hard to melt off most of the ice if we redistributed the internal temperatures of the ship on the outermost rooms to above, say, tolerance levels.
Oh yeah, I forgot we didn't tell her we had a storm coming in.
Yeah, I think we have a problem with that
I-
because we'll sink or something.
If it takes, she'll say it like this. If it takes longer than 24 hours, I'm going to
you're
need. Yeah,
We
sorry.
have a
It,
bad echo.
it should not take longer than 24 minutes
Somebody
if we
needs to
tie
go
all
and
of the
push to talk.
systems. Is that
Okay.
me?
Yeah, I think you have a live
I
mic every
think it
time someone
is,
talks.
yeah. And it's
Okay.
bad echo.
Well, it shouldn't be echoing, but I will, because I'm on headset, but I will do
It
that.
is.
Spending 2 threats.
So, yeah. I'm going to need you guys to try and get us out of the snowbank, and I will go deal with our anomaly. Also have the senior staff at some point inoculated for radiation of any kind, and she'll get in the turbo lift and go down to deck 11.
Now, luckily, I think we did that at the end of the last game. Everybody's been inoculated, so I think that's done.
It is. I'll waive that. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I take a security team down to deck 11.
Okay. GM, would I be able to tie the internal temperature controls to the bridge to control the temperatures in those outermost rooms and push those to, let's say, 50C to start?
Stand by. I am going to say daring engineering, difficulty 1, assisted by structure plus engineering.
All right. Would it be okay if with everyone if I give the GM a threat?
I mean,
Go for it.
we have momentum as well, but yeah, go ahead.
That's 2 from my end, which should be more than sufficient.
Generate 1 momentum. You can feel your internal systems are telling you that the rising temperature is melting the snow. You can control, and also you've made sure to be able to have a controlled melt, so you're not just literally boring a hole into the planet straight down. You can actually kind of control what parts of the ship are heating.
All right, cool.
Any other bridge actions before I move on to the next scene?
Did the captain leave?
The
Yes.
captain has
Chief
left.
engineer. I will tap on my communicator to the chief engineer and say, Chief engineer, I think I have solved, with a very opportune moment, your ice.
Very well done, Lieutenant. Good thinking.
I was told to do a external sensor scan, so I like to get that done now.
Very good. That is good old-fashioned reason science. Difficulty 1, assisted by ship's computer science. No, sensor science.
Here's a ship roll. And my roll. Oh, dang.
Generate 3 momentum.
We are all full, so
It stops at
6.
6.
yeah, it stops at 6.
Very good. And you were doing an external, basically a general sensor sweep of the area.
Yeah, of the hemisphere of the planet and in space.
You detect various life forms similar to what the crew has lovingly called snowbows for some reason, the cloaking creatures in the snow. You detect them. They seem to be sticking to the little territorial areas. You detect the crew, the camp, all within close range because this is starship scale, right? You detect that there is a vast complex of technological caverns deep below the surface, with various corridors and entranceways blocked physically. You also detect that in orbit there is a starship. Unknown configuration, unknown energy signature. You could possibly classify it as some sort of capital ship. It's a large vessel, bigger than the Centaur is. Think along the lines of a Galaxy or bigger.
Okay, then. And we don't have any idea, and that doesn't correspond to any known alien starships.
None on file.
Okay.
Actually, if you give me 2 momentum, you'll get some extra information.
Sure.
Sure,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Whoops, I just stole one. Sorry. I forgot you were doing it.
Hold on,
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Jolson sending something to you in Discord.
Okay. And where is this technological complex in relation to us?
It's effectively close range. It's not a quick walk, but it's within transporter.
So, within a few hundred miles, in theory.
In theory, yeah.
Do the ship and the complex look like they share technology? Do it look like they're built by the same race?
I'll take that as a free question.
Yeah.
You're the science off. It appears they are of similar technology, but at different time, vastly different time periods. The complex is far older than the ship is, on order of magnitude of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years old difference. But that's speculation. It's obvious they're not close to.
But they have similar technological evolutions. They're on the same tree.
Yeah, they have similar energy signatures. One's just more sophisticated than the other.
Okay. Are there any life forms in the complex?
That'll be another momentum spend, because I don't think there's another freebie you have, unless you have studio.
I do not have Studious, so I'll spend one.
There are no life forms detected in.
Okay. Can I get information on the behavior of this capital ship? Is it holding orbit? Does it look like it's moving towards us?
Geosynchronous orbit. It seems to be doing a planet-wide scan. One might surmise a survey pattern. but it doesn't seem to be an intercept course. It doesn't appear. They don't appear to be acting like they see you yet.
Okay. Well, definitely have to let the captain know about that. Although,
Should we hail them?
not from what I'm seeing on the screen in here. Or the ship's identified, but the computer's locking me out.
I'll have to look at that computer core then.
I'll tap my comm badge. Jolson to Jal.
You're currently
Yeah.
in the turbo lift en route.
Yes, Jolson.
I got that at sensor scan, and you wanted. It appears as we have guests in the. It appears we have guests in orbit. Some unknown capital ship. It seems to be holding a geosynchronous orbit. Doesn't appear to have found us yet, but it is doing a survey, a pattern.
All right. Is there
But-
any kind of way you can get us a time frame before their sensors will be over us?
I can see about that. But it appears as they might be looking for or some sort of technological complex within transport range of us. It's buried underneath the ice. They have similar technological branches, but the complex on the ground out is hundreds, if not hundreds of thousands of years older than the ship in orbit. But I'm also locked out requiring admiral clearance in order for the computer to tell me anything.
Right. All
Think
right.
you're- Do you think your magic stick can clear that up?
I'm afraid it was a one-time use, Lieutenant.
All right, I will tell you what I can.
I'm gonna kind of just sort of float over his shoulder to look at the signature of.
Yeah, I allow you to see it.
And GM, I asked you a question in Discord.
Oh,
Not Discord. Roll 20.
Would I be able with my background as to the type of ship in orbit? You can give me a con plus reason roll. I'm going to make this difficulty. I hate to do this. Difficulty 5.
Can I assist in any way?
Yep. I'll let you assist.
And that was con what?
This con plus reason, and I don't think that I'm gonna make it. This is literally rolling for 4 because I don't want to spend any type of resource on this. There's literally no way I can make this.
Does the ship get a roll?
Ship could give you. The ship's actively not telling you stuff, so it's not. It's actually not helping.
Although, with an assist, if I threw one piece of momentum in there for the extra dice, there is a possibility this hits.
Yep.
I will also tap my determination.
I don't think you can do that as a.
As an assist. Never
Assist.
mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is not a roll. I do determination on anyhow.
Okay. Good point.
Roll one. Let's see if I get 4.
You could always give me threat.
Nope. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, my scores
Speak and
are
you shall receive.
terrible.
Ask and you shall receive. There's your threat.
All the screens in the bridge suddenly blank out, and the symbol for Starfleet Command, security clearance admiral required, pops up and locks you all out.
Damn
Oh,
it.
Jesus
Let me see if
Christ.
we get down
I
there.
go over to my station. Am I locked out from my station?
The entire computer core is probably locked out.
All right, I'm gonna get down there and see if I can override it manually. If the computer's locking us out, we'll never get out of here.
Ditto. Going down.
And scene change. Lose 1 momentum.
Before we scene change, can I let off a slew of Ferengi epithets?
Sales, bargains, customer service. But yes.
Buy one, get one. That's like the Ferengi C word.
Coupons. Fire sales.
Captain. Lieutenant Commander, you and your security team, I'll have a generic one there for now, are approaching what appears to be the armory. That is the last known location of the sensor. It hasn't moved.
I'm not going to try and trigger the door, because I'm not an idiot. But I am going to, because if it's moving, I'm going to assume it's intelligent, and I'm going to hit the, intercom in the armory. This is Lieutenant Commander Jaw to unknown persons. May I inquire as to why you are on my ship?
You may, once you answer why you have illegally boarded a Starfleet vessel.
I am a Starfleet officer, therefore it is not illegally boarding.
You're gonna need to prove that.
Computer. If it doesn't, I'm gonna just say it. Computer, replay, what is it called? Military record, Link's Jaw, Lieutenant Commander.
A recounting of Lieutenant Commander Jall's record is read aloud for perusal. If you want to give clip notes, but it verifies the.
I mean, go ahead. I'd be interested in the cliff notes.
It would be a security officer on, because I can't think of another ship name, the Ticonderoga, during the Battle of Wolf. She was in the Dominion War with 3 commendations that she doesn't carry on her, but she has them for valorous conduct in battle, and a few other random medals and doohickeys. And then it says appointed Chief of Security USS Sappho, and then the date she joined, which I haven't decided yet. It would have been like a year ago, obviously. So that's the cliff notes.
I don't want to pull a pin on anything, but how does this ship have your record?
It's still attached to the Starfleet database.
To answer that question, actually, ship's computer got updated with some of the logs from the surviving crew of the Sappho, because they were bringing along, as part of the rescue effort, they brought along evacuation. They brought along some of the emergency computer core data, and they uploaded it into the Victoria. The Victoria then did a handshake of security codes to make sure that they were legitimate Federation records, and now that's how the Victoria knows this information now.
Okay.
No, fair
And
enough.
then, so in character to back that up, I'll computer verify.
Records, stand by. Records verified. From Emergency Core 235 of USS Sappho.
I would like to meet the captain of the Sappho.
Unfortunately, they were lost with the ship. I am the commanding officer, highest ranking officer, surviving. Or that survived. She actually says that with a twinge of guilt, like sadness.
The door's gonna open up, and out walks a human male of average height, and he looks like he has a silverish tone to his skin, like a drab silverish tone, an unnatural color for a human.
Huh. I do want to do an engineering check to see if well, I mean, I've assumed that my character has met in passing Lieutenant Commander Data.
Doesn't look like him.
Okay, well, that's good. Huh. How have you survived on this ship for so long?
I do not estimate that you need access to that information at this time. I wish to be informed of your current status and why you are on board this ship.
Well, if you follow me to the bridge, I will explain on the way. And I do a full exposition dump if he follows me. Back to the bridge.
I will, but I'm gonna keep the phaser rifle.
That's... She will ask that you leave it on stun. If it makes you feel safe, then by all means carry it.
At this time, I will not comply with that request. My odds of survival on stun are 1 in 15. My odds in combat with no limitations are 4 out of 5.
The
So at
odds
this
of
time,
you carrying that rifle for very long before firing it are very low.
he's gonna raise the rifle at you, and I ask that you refrain from threatening me, or I will.
The
be
security
forced to
officers
take
start
action.
aiming back the minute he starts aiming.
And she just puts her hand up to like lower their weapons.
They lower their weapons at the signal.
And she just stares him down. Like she's staring down this person hardcore.
There's absolutely no response. It might almost be described as emotionless.
Yeah.
Would you be in uniform, or are you just in general crew clothes?
Who? Me?
Actually,
Or yeah.
so
Okay.
how long has this ship been stuck?
2 years.
I probably. I'll say that I'm wearing a utility suit, like a suit you would do general engineering work in that you didn't want to get a uniform door.
Oh, the jumpsuits, yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't threaten any of my crew, and I won't have to threaten you. It's an even deal. And she has her hands up at this point. Just be like, I don't have a weapon drawn. I'm not a danger at the moment.
The security officers shuffle back and forth in place like they're very itchy right now. They seem visibly nervous.
Yeah. Shall we continue to the bridge?
That's acceptable.
And then she lowers her hands and, even with the gun pointed at her, just turns and walks.
See, you two are heading towards the
Exposition done.
bridge.
Yep.
Meanwhile,
At the Hall of Justice. I'm sorry, I had to once.
Diddle-oo.
Thank you.
Meanwhile,
Dr. McNeil, one would presume you'd be in med bay right now, getting things.
That would be correct.
It has come to your attention that there is. Where's. Between yourself and some of the medical staff that came with the first wave of people, the general diagnosis of the crew, there's no role. It's the sort of thing that they were kind of checking on ever since the incident at base camp. Everyone seems to be at a level 3 level of tension. In effect, the crew as a whole seems to be, even under normal working conditions or at rest, they're on edge. Like it's almost like they're on yellow alert at all times. They're always tense and getting ready for a fight. But if that can, for now, that's okay. But if they stay like this for an extended period of time, it's going to get worse. They're just going to degrade and fall into despair. The medical staff tried to do what they could while you're away, helping with bruises, telling people they're okay, they're safe, but for some reason there's still that low level hum of tension, and even your empathy is picking that up aboard the ship with even the people that are here.
Okay. She will head to the bridge to sort of make a suggestion to the captain.
Your orders, Doctor? What should we do for now?
Continue checking on the supplies, and if anyone comes in injured, do your best to help them out. I will be back shortly.
Yes, Doctor. Meanwhile,
At the Legion of Doom.
I believe Jolson and Gurix, who was heading to the computer core?
I certainly was.
that would be me.
It's Selena and Garrix.
My
Yeah,
bad.
those
my
two
bad.
can
Selena have
go.
a last name? Because I feel bad calling her Lieutenant Selena.
A Fringanar. So, yeah, just Selena's fine.
Okay.
I'll stay on the bridge and try to do what I can there.
So, you two eventually get your way down to the computer core. Thankfully, the turbo lifts work. You're able to navigate there. It seems like the computer consoles elsewhere on the ship function, so whatever that means. But you are able to get to the main computer.
Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the console and try to at least diagnose the source of the lockout.
I'm going to go a different route. I'm going to start taking systems offline with a level 2 diagnostic.
I'll note to you that a level 2 diagnostic will take about half the day. It would take a long time to do, but it would get you definite.
I said start taking the systems offline with a level 2 diagnostic, as in we would be able to start ripping apart which systems were infected and be able to repair them faster. I'll go level 4 if it makes you feel any better.
It does.
I just want to start taking systems offline.
No, I'm brute forcing. I'm going more for try to manually override the lockout. But I guess it'd be easier if the two of us try to commit to one course of action, just for
Yeah.
game's sake.
You're kind of working at cross purposes because once you start pulling stuff out, it's going to be hard to start brute force repairing it. So you're either going to try to repair it, or you're going to try to start start shutting.
Normally,
Okay, well, let's role play this for a second. Selena's going to look at Jax, right?
Gearix.
Lieutenant Garrix, I think we should isolate the systems that are infected from the rest of the computer core and put a firewall up so that it cannot spread. Therefore, you can attack it directly.
Under normal circumstances, I'd agree with you, but we're going to be in big trouble if we don't get computers back online quickly. I think I might just need to see if I can simply rewrite the lockout software.
Okay. How about you rewrite the code while I begin to reposition the hardware so that it will be in the most effective position at the most opportune time. So rules of acquisition say opportunity favors the ball.
True. All right. Run a diagnostic, but don't take anything offline yet. We don't really have time to analyze the entire system. How about this? I'm gonna get in there and start writing code. I'm gonna need you to monitor any systems that begin to be locked out. Otherwise, we might run into even more trouble here.
I'll begin to do that. Has anyone contacted the captain about this? This may be something the captain should know.
I assume that the RX will take care of that.
Understood, Lieutenant. Beginning to run and so I'll do secondary while they do primary for the challenge.
Okay, so the primary is going to be I will say, I'm going to say a daring science to open up with, or daring engineering assisted by control engineering.
Okie doke. I do have a focus in computers, which I'm assuming is going to apply here.
Yes.
Cool. And I'll go ahead and spend a momentum for a third die.
Would sensor operations apply here?
I will say no.
All right, that rules anything else I got because I'm pretty sure explosives don't.
No.
Unless you really screw up.
I mean, the lieutenant commander might have use for that. Just saying.
Between the two of you, you're able to cancel out the lockout. It doesn't give you access to the information that the ship was keeping you out of, but the bridge should be able to access all its systems.
Gearix to Jolson?
Jolson here.
How's it looking at the bridge? I think you should have access now.
How do the computers look?
Well, I wasn't able to override the lockout software, but I was able to get. You should have control back.
Well, I at least have Elkar's ours again. Do I have full control back? Partial control?
Full control back.
Excellent. Whatever you guys did down there worked perfectly.
Good to hear it. Now, please, just once we have time, I can start taking that lockout software down a little bit easier. But in the meantime, let's not press our luck with the computer.
High five.
not gonna sit well having an unknown alien in orbit, but we'll do what we can with what we got. Improvisation all the way.
That's been the name of the game so far on this stupid ice rock.
All right, return to the bridge edge when you're done. Jolton out.
Right away, Lieutenant.
I
So you
begin
guys-
to return to the bridge, but I'm not going to use the turbo lift. I'm actually going to go up a side ladder just to see what the ship looks like.
The turbo lifts are operating normally, Lieutenant. You really don't need to go take the scenic route if you don't want to.
Oh, we lost them.
See,
There they
this
are.
is one reason I don't like push to talk. I say to him, but I want to. It would be so interesting to see what the internal mechanisms tick. And it's such a short distance. It's only like 2 decks.
All right, well, tell me if you find anything interesting in there.
I will. That's up to the GM.
I mean, everything will be fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's not like he's not sitting on 9 threat, can throw like a blown out EPS conduit on you or something.
I am going to move to the next scene as we return. Lose 1 momentum.
Yep.
1 momentum lost.
One moment. McNeil, you're on the bridge.
Doctor?
Lieutenant? Where is everyone?
We had a bit of a computer error problem. But everything seems to be in order now. And the captain, or acting captain, and is investigating a mysterious life form we found on board, but they haven't reported back yet.
I would assume
I
very
see.
shortly we would be coming through the turbo lift doors.
What brings you into the bridge?
Well, I need to talk to the acting captain about a few things. Curious though, has there been any word from the base camp?
GM.
You have heard. You've been getting regular updates from base camp.
And nothing unusual? Or
Well, beyond the fact they're on a alien planet and everyone seems to be complaining about their work, but you know.
So typical bureaucracy stuff.
Well, if everyone in the office was suddenly told you're going to go climb Mount Everest for a little bit, don't worry, it'll only take.
Oh, so the Belko experiment. Okay, got it.
more like the Donner Party, but whatever.
Close enough.
All right. I tell the doctor, we've been in regular contact with them. They're grumbly, but holding on as best we can. We're trying to get the ship back together enough so we can and transport them here to someplace safer. Did you have any concerns about the base camp or the crew?
Several, but none that you need to burden yourself with.
I was hoping that we can and bring everyone together. We can get through this and get back onto our regularly scheduled old adventures.
New people aboard, step out of a turbolift.
Ah, Doctor. I'm glad
Good
you're
lord.
here.
Who is
Do you
that?
think you can... I'm hoping you can tell me, Doctor. I found him in the armory.
I see.
I look at the doctor without saying anything.
He hasn't told me his name yet. What is your name, by the way? She turns and looks.
Name, rank, serial number.
At this
My
point, a
name-
hatch opens up.
My name, or at least the designation I've been assigned, is Alan.
Designation?
More people start pouring into the bridge.
Let's just give our computer. Oh, Will. Oh, new friend. Hello.
As
Doctor, give me a reason plus.
Medicine or science? You cut out there.
Medicine.
Medicine. Yes.
Take a threat.
Fine.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
You take that threat and you like it.
You can't make me.
You take that threat and you say, yes, sir, may I have another?
Xenobiology?
Ah, sure.
I might debate that.
I mean, she doesn't know what you are, and as far as she knows, you're biologic.
I might be.
Bank. Two. And I'm gonna send you something on continue roleplay. I'm gonna send some.
Hold still. This won't hurt a bit.
I'm
Well,
not
that was not
going to
exciting at
allow.
all.
I'm not going to allow anyone to come within a foot of me.
It's a good thing she doesn't
But-
have to come within a foot of you.
I'll stand resolute.
Well, Captain, in other news, we got the computers back online, but we're still locked out of whatever admiral level clearance as we have on that alien vessel in orbit.
I'm gonna look at him and recognize the pips on his collar and go, Lieutenant, why are you interfering with this ship's computer core?
Because I'm trying to see what's out there and make sure or that we can leave this planet in one piece.
You do realize you are marooned on a planet, right? We're not in orbit.
No,
I
but there is a
understand.
ship in orbit.
I understand the situation.
Then perhaps you can enlighten us.
You have all the information you require at the moment.
Are you feeling low? You must have been on here quite some time.
Captain, can I talk to you in privately, please?
Yes. Security, watch him. Jolson, you have the con, even though we're not moving. And Doctor, my ready room.
I look to the newcomer. Not that I'm much different in this crew, but. So, what were you doing all the way out here?
He just looks at you and stares.
What does the newcomer look like? I kind of glazed over his physical description.
Humanoid, but with a kind of a drab skin with a mix of silver.
Okay.
So pale and slightly metallic.
So you were seeking new opportunities in a field of endeavors that is not Starfleet regulation.
I am not out here for personal gain.
Were you an original officer on this ship?
Have you been marooned here? The ship's been here at least 2 years.
I have been unable to leave. This ship requires more than one humanoid to operate. It's an
Oh.
inefficient design.
So
How did
maybe you could. So maybe you can tell us what happened to the other humanoids that were stationed on this vessel. Your silence is deafening.
I'm
You know,
gonna
for a
cut.
human, he is awfully silent.
I'm gonna cut to the ready room.
You seen?
And no, I think this would just be like one of those cutaway things where it's just like,
No loss of scene. Same.
Doctor, you wanted to speak with me?
Yes, Commander, your friend out there is not exactly human. I don't think I'm qualified to treat him because, well, he has a positronic brain, very similar, if I recall, to a Commander Data. If I'm presuming correctly, maybe someone potentially tried to duplicate data, and then that's your friend out there. If he's willing to answer questions. My other concern is tensions are very high. If we continue to operate like this on both here on the ship and over at the base camp, we could have several problems on our hands. They need some good news.
Well, I'm hoping that if all goes well, we will be leaving this planet before nightfall, but that will take an extreme amount of good luck on our parts. And then we will try and find some way to grieve properly and return to some semblance of normal.
I know you're probably going through a difficult time, Commander, but you're gonna have to buckle up and breathe later. Right now, the crew needs you.
Oh, I know.
But if you need someone to talk to, the door is always open.
Thanks. I appreciate that. But
Oh, just
like I said,
a tidbit,
hopefully.
just
Go
a tidbit, your friend out there, he was built up probably about 12 years ago.
Huh. Wonder how long he's been on this ship. I suppose we should ask him, huh?
Indeed, we shall.
Is that all, Doctor?
Yeah, I don't know how long with the radiation treatments we can keep up. It's hard to say how long the side effects would be with living in an environment such as this and having regular injections of the Chronoton radiation treatment. It's uncharted territory at this time.
All right. Get with Selena and Lieutenant Jolson and see if the levels of the radiation have gone down and if they've stabilized to a safe level. And hopefully we don't have to survive on injections. We need to at least survive long enough to get back to Narendra. Because some of the people that are on this planet deserve to go home.
Don't we all?
So, if that is all, if you would get with Selena and Jolson and get on that, please.
Very well.
Dismissed. She will actually get up with the doctor and walk out. Yeah. Back to the bridge. The captain or the lieutenant commander will look at Alan and go, "Good news, Alan. You're healthy. However, I believe your primary physician on your stay on this ship will be Lieutenant Garrix."
Oof, my field medical classes were way, way, way out of date.
I assure you, it will be perfectly all right.
His understanding of the situation is less than ideal. A Starfleet officer should be able to make that connection. I can see why your ship is crashed.
You will see a flash of anger in her eyes. First off, we didn't crash this ship. Second off, our last ship there was no saving it. However, we will get this ship back off the ground and back in the stars where it's supposed to be. Now, you can either be a hindrance or you can help.
What is the rate of ice flow off of us?
Yes,
to what
'cause
end?
as soon as the shuttle bay can get a shuttle out, I'm sending washout for survivors to bring them to the ship.
To the extent of how much of this ship is exposed to the outside, and how much of it is still like in the underneath sections of the ice.
The most of the ship's burial was in the nose. A lot of the ship was kind of resting on the surface with some surface snow. So it's mainly the front end of the mid decks, decks 11 through I want to say 13, 14.
Yeah, we paper airplaned into the snow.
All right, and how much of it is solved?
The way you can melt the ice in such a way that the ship is sitting on a somewhat flat surface wouldn't be ideal for launching shuttles out of, but the ship would be unburied and able to lift off theoretically if the engine.
Oh, that's even better, because
Right,
then we can
Captain.
just sweep by him.
Might I make a small suggestion that we are slightly exposed to the ship above us? This is not an opportune time to be in personal conflict with civilians.
We're not leaving them on this planet.
I was referring to your friend over there. Not taking my eyes off of the silver-skinned guy.
I don't believe he's a civilian, Selena.
Nor do I.
Enter.
Ops has a chime of an incoming message.
Oh, yep.
You're being hailed.
Oh, okay, on screen.
Yes.
Base camp to Victoria.
This is Lieutenant Commander Jal.
Yeah, we have sensor tricode readings show that there are some life forms approaching us, but they don't match the snowbows. Some sort of humanoid. They might be armed. We're not sure what to do.
All right. I hit my comms. Ensign Wash, please come to the bridge immediately.
I want to look at the captain or the lieutenant commander. And what do you rate their necessity to this ship leaving the planet?
100%.
How very emotional. Are there any engineers among them?
Yes.
If you need to defend them,
A few robotics experts, as a matter of fact, she says coyly.
that's of no concern to me. If you need to defend them, I will aid you.
Well, that's good to know. All right, Lieutenant, I'm gonna need those engines fairly quickly.
I'll get everyone working on it as quickly as possible. Might need to get down to main engineering.
Yeah, you got 20 minutes. Actually, probably less.
I can get you thrusters, maybe engines. We'll see.
Get us what you can.
Forward. Yep, I need forward momentum.
I'll see what I can do on my end. Changing power, conduits, what have you, Captain. With that, I'm going to run right back into the Jeffrey 2.
I'm gonna follow the chief. I'm gonna follow whoever's going to engineering without saying anything.
The security officers look to Jal. Sir, orders?
Let him go.
Let's keep one security officer on him just in case.
Actually, yeah, that would be right. Yeah, I do send one.
I see.
But let him do his job until who's the chief engineer?
Garrix.
Garrix. Until Garrix says as otherwise.
I'll welcome your assistance, Mr. Allen. Please, come with me.
Oh,
We will
wow.
get there 3% faster if you focus on not talking.
Never been very good at not talking.
All right, Ensign Wash. As soon as you have the ability to fire thrusters, I want you to try and get us airborne.
I'm gonna go over to the science console and I want to scan out to the base camp and to see what I can tell about the humanoids there.
I will ask you for reason medicine. Difficulty 2. Ooh.
Nailed it on the head.
Nice.
Assisted by ship's computer sensor. Yes.
Let's see. Computer science, computer medicine, or sensor medicine.
Sensor medicine, my bad.
Assisted.
Still nailed it.
Readings incoming. I'm gonna Discord.
All right, and Jal will look at the doctor. Doctor, if we don't get there in time, there may be casualties. I'm gonna need your sick bay ready.
And what, miss all the action? Expeditionary is ready to go.
Fair enough.
I
And
like this woman.
She kind of she kind of motions to the third seat on the next to because you have the XO, the captain, and the other seat.
The other seat.
Yeah, the third seat. Yes, the mother-in-law seat.
Are you allowed to sit in that seat if you're not wearing a non-regulation jumpsuit?
You have to cut out a boob window like right now.
Hey, the doctor
don't-
sat there.
Yeah, Crusher sat there a few times when Troy wasn't there.
Fair enough.
Doctor's unamused.
Unamused doctor is unamused.
Alan and Gurix, you are able to get to the main engineering block, the Rubik's Cube that is the hot room, where many of the engineering crew have learned to just stay in jumpsuits because even at normal operating heat, it is nice and toasty in there, and normal uniform is a little too much warming.
All right, people. I know you're all sweaty and hot and really would like a sonic shower, but we've got 20 minutes to get some kind of propulsion going here. What do you have for me?
We have, sir, you're aware that something's following you?
Oh, yes, everyone. This is Alan. Alan, this is the engineering team. Hello, hello. We'll do proper introductions later. We have 20 minutes. Come on.
Oh, right. You are, in effect, they explain to you that there is a role coming your way. It is in the form of a task roll. Go figure. It would be a daring engineering roll, difficulty 3, assisted by ship's engineering sensors.
And Alan.
Engineering sensors are both systems. I need a department. Wait. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, there's engines.
There's engines, and then there's engineering.
Engineering. Yes, that's enough.
Okay.
Actually, I'll swap that sensors to engines. That makes more sense. Engineering engines.
Roger.
Okie doke. I'm gonna go ahead and spend a momentum on that then. Hey.
Nice.
That looks like a generation of 1 momentum.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And for the record, I have also sent engineers to the transporters to make sure they work. Or else this will be futile.
Am I able to assist?
You certainly can.
Oops, I hit the button twice. 0.
Selena, you're gonna go to the into the tube.
I guess to try and boost power to the thrusters.
I'll let you assist at complication 2.
You hear your Uncle Quark in your head going, "Don't fuck up." Kidding.
Be daring engineering. My bad. I should have told you that. Or control engineering.
Eh.
I'll take it.
Oh, I have a question. Did we use computers or sensors?
Yes.
Can I use
Sensors.
technical expertise even though I'm the assisting role? Because I kind of was assisted by ship's computers. I don't know if it counts.
That's a 2.
I'm gonna say no in this matter. You're mainly doing engineering work, getting the engines to do what you want them to do, less computer access. Or
Oh, it's using if I'm assisted by computers or sensors, I get to re-roll a d20. So
I
it's
think we.
whether or not I'm
Oh.
Yeah, the roll was with engines though, so.
Oh, it
But-
was.
yeah, I changed that.
Okay.
I know it was more of an out of character joke.
I'm gonna take the first number, Selena, because I think that wouldn't have made it on the because that's a dice roll anyway. So
Well, hang on a second. Because, yeah, probably not. But you did say daring engineering, and I rolled control engineering by accident.
It could have been one or the other, is what he ended up saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that.
Yeah.
But thankfully you didn't create a complication. You try to do your best in there, and you get a little warning lights as you're working that the thrusters are starting to heat up. So you start crawling away before you start getting cooked. But at the con, Washburn, you detect that thrusters are operational. You have engines.
Captain, looks like we have some engines for you.
All right, Ensign, get us airborne.
I have a preliminary A scan on the assailants. Looks like there's 9 humanoid, a blade of armor, active force field, some sort of energy weapons. They're armed to the teeth, and also some slight chronoton flux. I'll see if I can't resolve that, but otherwise, no clue what race they are.
Oh, all right. I was gonna say is I can't hear Jamie for some reason. Do I have him muted?
Fucking mute.
Oh.
I spent 1 to gain, so spend
Oh,
1.
wrong button.
Okay, spend 1. Okay, so we got 1 momentum instead of 2. Okay, got it.
Okay, so total of 3. Roger.
Chime from the opposite.
Okay, I walk over to the console.
Incoming
Yes.
hail from the ship in order.
And I put it on screen.
Hold on.
This is
Go ahead.
This is Lieutenant Commander Shaw of the USS Victoria. Who am I speaking with?
Tu taille. Atu?
Looks like
And
they're not in the universal translator base yet.
Tu taille. Et tu?
I'm afraid I cannot understand you. We do not mean any harm. We are just trying to get our ship off planet.
There's an alarm at the tactical station. The ship suddenly the whole ship shakes suddenly.
All right, Ensign, we have to go, and I raise whatever shields we have.
I'm gonna spend 2 threat shields, not operational.
Son of a bitch.
My thoughts exactly.
Can I use whatever our language we picked up? I'm kind of running through the linguistics database.
Heading to shield control.
Yes. 1 moment. Jal, you detect that there was a some sort of energy blast about 100 meters off the starboard bow. An intentional warning shot by the look of it.
Well, they can definitely see we're firing up thrusters. We're trying to get out of here. shooting at us won't make us leave the planet any sooner.
Jolson, you're the one looking up fancy languages?
Yep. Running their dialogue through the linguistics database, see if I can find any matches.
I'm going to give you a science insight roll.
Science insight. I'm gonna use my focus in linguistics.
You certainly can. Assisted by ship's science computer.
I'd spend a momentum.
Yep, I'm spending momentum. I'm gonna get an extra dice.
Yes, just put that momentum on my face.
You like on your face, all over your face. Right.
So moving on.
Anyway.
Here's Jolson, and Ship is assisting with what?
Computer science.
Computer science.
Do you have cautious science?
I do not have cautious science.
Well, son of a monkey.
Selena, I will ask you for a difficulty 2 roll of engineering, daring, assisted by ships. I will say engineering structure.
Do we have any momentum left?
We
We
have
have two momentum left.
All right, I'm going to put 1 into that at least.
nice.
That looks like a generation of 2 momentum.
Yep.
Shields are operational, and they come up.
All right. And I assume with the helm roll, we got off the ground.
Yeah, you're basically you just lifted off the ground and we're starting to hit ascend into orbit when you had the warning shot. I don't know if you're going to continue up into orbit.
No, we're not going to break orbit yet. We are going to fly over the base camp, drop shields, pick them up, and leave, and then get out of the planet. Well, raise shields and get out.
As far as my linguistics roll went, how did that go?
Right, and you were short, as I recall.
Okay.
One short.
The difficulty was 4. You only got 3.
Okay.
For now, you do know that the computer is working. You do succeed at cost in the sense that the computer will figure it out, but it needs to hear the language more. It doesn't have enough.
Captain, and want to get those guys on the on again. If I get more of the language as base, might be able to translate it.
GM, I've got a talent here, repair team leader, that gives me an extra momentum on basic repair checks to be applied to advantage or to information.
What are you asking of me?
Can I put that extra momentum that I got from my repair check into allowing the shields to be turned off and on without a danger to the ship, like creating an advantage?
I'll allow that, sure.
Like
Does
you
it
have
generate-
a macro set or something.
Yeah, it's like you program it in. You hand program it in from shield control.
Yeah, angling the shields to keep the shields above us on, the shields below us.
So we can beam through them.
Basically, yeah.
Joel,
We're gonna turtle.
Joel, I'm going to ask you for a command security roll. Your security team at base camp is under fire. This is reflecting how well you've instructed them.
Present security.
Command security.
I can't do command security.
Oh, you're right. I'm lying to you. You're welcome. Presence. Presence. Security. That makes more.
Yeah. All right.
I swear I'm awake, everyone.
I'm going to give you a threat. I doubt diplomacy, composure, or interrogation would work.
They do not.
Okay, that's fair. I'm gonna see if this behaves. Oh, I get to re-roll that 0. Hope for the best. That's 3.
They come under fire, but they're able to hold position, and they report as such to the Victoria.
All right, Ensign, get us over the base camp, and I hit my comm badge. Lieutenant Garrix, get the most qualified transporter person we have on transporters. We're gonna have to beam these people out in a hurry.
Absolutely, Commander. I'll man the transporter myself if I have to.
Thank you. And
Sure.
I look at the doctor and say, "Hold on, this may be a bumpy ride."
Joel, do you think we can get phasers online and do some pot shots to scare off the opposing team?
Let me see if I have. Yeah, let me see if I can get weapons back online, and I want to use them as a last resort because I'm trying to remain unhostile.
Yeah, Jamie says you guys are forgetting that somebody said get on the con really quick to get the voice pattern working. You guys still have that chance. You should start there.
Wait, what? I'm confused.
Yeah, let's get the voice pattern.
Yeah, 'cause you might be able to talk to him.
Jal spent 2 threat. Weapons seem to be offline. There seemed to be an overheat when the thrusters.
Well, we don't have weapons, so let's hope we can outrun them.
Outrun them or out-talk them.
Let's also, yes, also, Ensign, try hailing them again. And, yeah.
One moment.
Yep. I am one momenting.
And it's the captain's job.
I'm not doing too bad in the talking department.
Exactly, it's your job. Nobody else's.
That's kind of the point. It's your job.
Yep, you're the center chair for a reason.
Translation: no one wants to take responsibility.
Exactly.
It's a matter of, it wasn't that I don't want to take responsibility. It's a matter of protocol.
It's true.
Yeah, it's nobody else's job but the captain. That's what I mean.
Now, the rules of acquisition.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to run through a sequence of events here. So the first thing I'm going to ask for is for the helm. Since you're approaching base camp, you're trying to get into a position that's close by and able to fire or protect the base camp as needed. I'm going to ask you for a daring con difficulty 1. Someone was trying to transport people up, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Yes, the lieutenant.
Spend that momentum.
That's going to spend 1 power of the ship. If anyone's keeping track of the ship, 1 power is being used for transporters. That is a difficulty of we'll say 3 control engineering, assisted by sensors engineering.
Can I assist since I've been following him around?
Unless he tells you to stop, you can. Like, get out of my way. But other than that, you can certainly help.
Oh, I'm way too nice for that.
And here comes all the
Alright.
complications. You can do it.
I am gonna spend a momentum though. Do we have any left?
We have 3 left. Go for it.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to ask the person trying to talk back to the ship. I'm going to ask you for a control engineering difficulty. I'm going to spend 2 threat, make it difficulty 1, assisted by ship's communications engineer.
Okay, so here's sensors engineering, and then communication engineering. Nice.
I'm confused.
Computer.
Yeah.
Oh, computer engineering?
No. I'm yelling at my computer.
No, one of us had to make a task roll, and I'm not sure what it was for. That may be my bad.
Yeah, that was you speaking. Yeah, you were supposed to make a task roll.
Control engineering. Was that what it was?
No, that was
When you're talking, I think some type of diplomacy.
Oh, this is
That
just
stuff.
getting. The control engineering role was to get the attention of the ship again because you moved, and they seemed to be not paying attention to you right away. Like they were talking to.
They were talking to someone else, and we're trying to butt in on their call.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was for transporting people.
No.
Transporting people was, I believe, Garrix. That was the control engineering one.
Oh, okay, I got confused because there's a lot of tasks with the same thing going on.
Okay, so let's do the transporter first.
Transporter, I said with
Well,
difficulty.
let's not, because my role is first, and I'm still waiting.
Oh,
It's true.
yeah.
Wash. And yeah, you're able to move into position just fine. I believe I just set the difficulty at 1. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Okay, so you get 2 momentum from that.
I'm sorry.
And then
Alright.
the next set was transporter.
Garrix, yep.
That was a
It was
difficulty.
It was
3.
3, so we banked 2 momentum on that.
Yep. And I'll actually give you a bonus 1 because the con got into a nice spot for you. They made it easier.
Okay, so we have 1 extra momentum at the moment. 1 past par.
1 floating. And
Yep.
then Jolson decided to say hello to some aliens for some reason. And
I got the communication. I didn't hear what Jolson himself was supposed to roll.
who was trying to raise the enemy ship? I believe that was Jolson.
Yeah, because I had asked him to.
That
Okay,
would have been control engineering.
Control engineering, no focus.
Hope for the best.
Oh my god, nice.
And now you have a floating of an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 momentum floating, 5, 6 floating above your normal.
Okay.
Yay.
If you guys wish to create advantages, you can create 3 different ones based on your collaborative effort.
First one is the ship is in the way of anything that the other people can do.
Yep. We have
That's my
placed the
spec.
ship. Yeah, we have placed the ship in between the party under fire and our people, and we beam everybody off.
And
And maybe we can say that we're beaming
Translation.
with such. Oh, go ahead.
maybe translation matrix actually works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 1, I guess that's 3.
We have ship shielding base camp amp translation, and then what was the other one? Beaming them up quickly.
Yeah, without incident.
Yep.
I think that sounds fair, yeah.
And translation.
Yes.
In record time, the crew is base camp is beamed up with great alacrity. The ship is now kind of hovering. It kind of casts a shadow over the camp as energy fire rained down on it, and everyone just kind of vanished away from their sight. And over the hail, alien vessel, you are in claimed space. Power down engines and prepare to be boarded. This is your final warning, or we will destroy you.
Alien vessel, this is the USS Victoria. We were crash landed on this planet and are only trying to return home.
Present
mean you
travel
no
documentation and files.
I'm afraid I do not understand what you mean by that. We are... I'm not sure what you mean by that. We're explorers from a great distance away. We're not from this sector originally.
Jean, I'm going to give you a chance to get these guys to listen to you instead of just shouting bureaucracy.
Yep.
I'm going to ask for a roll, and I'm going to try to...
Okay.
Let's say medicine presence. No, I'm just kidding.
That'll be something else.
Evil.
I'm going to ask you for... either daring command or presence command to get these guys to stop, because all they're doing as you're talking to them, they just start barking over and over your paper. Where are your papers, effectively, and you don't know what the hell they're talking. And you're trying to get them to understand. We're not being annoying. I actually don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, diplomacy.
Oh yes,
All
and
right.
it will be opposed because they really want those papers.
Oh, that's fine. I'm going to max out my dice. So.
How dare you?
Can I get to the bridge after this check goes off?
Oh, you're already there. I'm just trying to talk to them.
So how much momentum are you spending?
Enough for 5 dice. So all of them.
Well, I'll spend.
Oh, come on. Can't let me have this one? This will be the best presence command roll I ever do. Because it's not presence command. I'm just kidding. If he can beat 6, I'll be impressed. That's not
Almost.
6.
I just needed a 2 on all of them.
So is this the point where he just shuts off the comm for like 15 seconds and wipes the dust on the bridge while they hail him over and over again? A la Picard and the Celiacs.
She's probably pretty cocky right now, yes.
Yeah,
she definitely looks like the cat that ate the canary.
once you bring them back up after forcefully muting them, let us try this again. Alien vessel. This is the command ship Astoria. You are in claimed space of our empire. You are required, while in our space, to present documentation of authorization for invading our space. Whatever your reasons may be, whatever you say they are, is fine. However, you need the proper documentation. Failure to have this documentation will result in boarding to inspect you for dangerous goods, persons, or other material. Does your translation matrix work now?
I believe it's working perfectly. And she cuts the hail. And in typical, like, hotshot fashion, she tells the ensign to get us out of here. After we get everybody on board, we're out of here. Once we get clear of the planet, I want you to set a course for Narendra, Warp 8.
Captain, if there's one thing I know, it's bureaucracy. If we request the proper forms, not realizing the proper forms ahead of time, it might expedite our escape. It will certainly buy us time.
What's the tactical capabilities of that ship compared to our ship? If we were going a slug out fight,
It's not going to be good, but
Bad.
I don't intend to fight. I actually intend to dump a couple of points of power into the warp drive and get as close back to Narendra as we can.
dump or run.
Yep, pretty much. How much power do we have left?
We have 8 power,
Uh,
8 out of 9.
go down to 6. I want to spend 2 power to warp out of here.
Scene change, but I believe you're out of momentum.
We are out.
I apologize, Selena, but I have worried civilians on this ship that do not have time for bureaucracy. I need to get them back to some semblance of normality.
I can reroute power or I can fill out paperwork, but I can't do both, Captain.
As you break atmosphere, you can see the vague outline of the ship that is both here and not here, according to sensors.
Yeah, I would like to get a closer look at that.
You can try a roll. I'm going to ask you for reason science, difficulty 2, complication 2, assisted by ship sensor.
I would
And
like
then-
to give you a threat and to get an extra dice.
I will take that threat.
And astrophysics or astrophysics, warp mechanics, quantum mechanics, any of those apply?
Unfortunately, no.
All right. And what was the ship rolling?
That was sensor science.
All right. Here is ship roll. Ouch.
Oh. Damn it.
I'll take that threat. Unless you have some way to re-roll that.
I do. Ooh, I have bold.
Yes!
Bold science.
Oh,
All right.
Alright.
Do we generate momentum off that?
Generate 2. As the ship starts warping away, you start getting a flood of data, and for a brief moment, the computer almost starts to overload, and you very quickly start rerouting some of the systems where you are through the computer to try to keep up with the immense. It's almost like the ship try to flood you with data, and you kind of just responded instinctively.
Like the enemy ship have tried to spam us?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, oh, you're scanning us? Cool. Have all you want, and then trying to overload your systems.
Oh, yeah. All right, what do I see?
It takes a bit of time to load. One moment.
It's a lot of data.
Data.
Yeah, well,
Potato.
yeah. We're gonna have to have some meetings on. I'm gonna have to have meetings with certain crew members about, respecting the chain of authority.
You know what the chain of command is?
I don't appreciate being yelled at on my own bridge. I'm kidding. I as player don't
It was
care.
a stressful situation. Yelling was
Not appropriate.
yeah.
As you start warping away, engineering reports a heat overload. If you stop now, you have two options. You can either stop now, and you're going to stop at the located near a D-class planet, so basically one planet over from them, or you can try to force the engine to purge the heat, and the ship will keep pushing itself.
I hit my comm badge and say, Lieutenant Garrix,
Hi, Captain.
Alan wouldn't be near you right now, would he?
He's been practically attacked. Wait, are you?
Yes, I'm standing right beside you, just like hovering.
Yes, he's become somewhat attached to me, it seems. What can he do? What can we do for you?
I'm going to need you to get your engineering team out of engineering, and I'm going to need him to possibly purge the coolant core, or else we're about to get attacked, or not make it far at all.
With all due respect, Captain, abandoning engineering in the middle of a conflict?
Do you want them in there when you have to purge the system?
If you say so, Captain. Come on, friendo. We're gonna go ahead and purge that heat.
Are you sure you can survive this?
No, that's why we're sending you.
I thought I thought it was suggested that you were also going to be involved in the purging.
No, I just wanted him to get his human engineer or his living engineering staff out, and yeah.
And put his dead engineer in. Got it.
Well, not necessarily, but
all
yes.
persons near a console, I would like you to roll for me a roll. One moment. A bunch of consoles are basically exploding as the ship's shuddering under the sudden.
Lieutenant, I need him there now.
Is there any way I could push these power surges to the lower decks?
Lower, hopefully unoccupied decks.
Well, at least not right in front of consoles that are going to explode.
I'll let you roll a. You're rerouting it, so.
Thank you, Doctor.
Please be a control engineering check.
And let's hope you don't kill random people in random corridors.
Well, that's why we have a doctor.
It doesn't help if they're vaporized by plasma.
I mean, she's good, but she's not, reconstruct vaporized people good.
I will say daring science or daring engineering, assisted by ships. One moment. Computer. I will say engineering. And difficulty will be 3.
It's like
complication 2.
Ooh. She's good, but she's not a replicator, man.
Buying the extra die here. And who's rolling for the ship?
I got the ship.
Oh,
No bueno.
Is this considered under repair team?
I would say no.
Untapped potential. What's that? I forget what that is.
When you spend momentum, you roll one effect die. If you get an effect, you get the momentum. You regain momentum.
That's not going to
So-
help with the check, but
no.
can I use determination to re-roll?
Yep. You just have to name me which one you're using and how it applies. More or less.
Well, this is as close as I can get. If the crew works correctly, the ship works correctly. The ship is not working correctly, so I have to assume that I have to fill in for some other crew member.
All right. You can spend your determination, and you get to reroll 2 of your. I assume you want to reroll the 2 zeros, not the 1.
Yes.
We got 3.
We got 3, baby.
Woo.
Hey, Sanka, you dead?
Yeah, I'm on.
Med Bay, you're here. You're getting report and ops. You're getting reports of injuries all across the ship, but none of you guys.
Captain, we have reports of injuries all across the ship. Medbay, I'm assuming is
All right.
I would,
And she hits her comm badge again. Tenant, I'm gonna need that heat purged.
I want to look at Garrix and grab him and move him out of the engineering bay.
We need to evacuate everyone first. What are you doing?
I'm evacuating you.
No, I need to get the rest of my team out of there. Come on.
And I will activate the evacuation alarm for main engineering.
Listen to me very carefully. I am not stepping out until I'm sure every last member of my team is out there. If I pass out from heat stroke, you can drag me out of here yourself, but I'm making sure everyone else gets.
Oh, dad voice.
Then I look at him and I say, "It's your death," and I go to start working on purging the heat.
He used dad voice on the one person it's not gonna work on.
It's an instinct though. It's an instinct. Yeah, but I'm gonna follow through though and make sure every single person is out of there for that purge.
I'm gonna ask you for a command, daring or fitness.
What
Difficulty 2. Command, daring or fitness.
Okie doke. I'm gonna give you a threat for an extra die.
Taken.
Okie doke. Just made it.
You're able to hurry the engineering team out while Alan starts doing the purge protocol. That is a. Just gotta look that up real quick. I'm going to spend 2 threat to make this harder on you.
What would
Uh,
would you
hmm?
describe? Would you describe how it's making it harder? Because I may be able to do something depending on how you explain it's been made harder on me.
Oh, that's true. I just forgot what your race was.
But yeah, because if it's specifically getting harder because of the heat, then the difficulty to resist that would be. I guess you're not making me roll to resist it, so that might not apply.
There will be an increased heat surge, but
It's really only going
if
to
you
matter.
succeed, it's not gonna. If you succeed, it's not gonna matter. If you fail, it's just gonna hurt more. But you can resist,
Okay.
so you're less likely to get hurt.
Okay.
So I'll be control engineering difficulty 2. Normally complication would go up. However, you're not scared of overheating because you're not worried about that. So don't screw up because the consequences hurt more. Assisted by ship's engineering and engines.
So we said what engineering for me?
Control engineering. Verifying. Control engineering.
Okay.
And is this a power roll? Power systems roll.
I don't think for this it is.
Are you asking because you want to assist?
Yes.
You can assist on this.
I'm going to spend my determination. I will maintain my home.
Feel free.
So I got 4.
And ship's assist.
What's the ship rolling?
Engines engineering.
Engines engineering. Aye.
Well, that would be a total of 5 by the looks of it.
You were able to jump away without, as the whole engine block is purged of heat. There are various injuries in across the ship, and you do not sensors do not detect the alien vessel chasing you.
Speaking of the alien vessel, what was the result of my sensor scan from earlier?
Feel free to role play as I type this out to him. I haven't had a chance to type it out yet.
I kind of figured.
Are there?
All right, and Ensign Wash. Sorry, give me 1 sec. Sorry, Ensign Wash. I know that since we're at warp, we do have another helmsman, and I know you're worried about your kids. Well, you know what I mean. If you would like to go check on them, now is the time.
Aye, Captain, and I'm out.
Enemy ship does not appear to be pursuing us. Sickbay, a report.
A little busy down here. What do you need?
Any serious injuries?
GM?
You have quite a bit of injuries ahead of you. You have a medicine control or medicine daring difficulty 3 roll ahead of you to try to manage the sudden influx of injured. Sorry, difficulty's down to 2 because you're in medbay when this is happening. And down to 1 because you have medical staff.
Ensign Hart,
Neat.
In
Ensign Hart,
emergency
if
medicine.
you would. Oh yeah,
Emergency
Sorry.
medicine? Yep.
I forgot you were rolling. I went back to role playing. Sorry.
No, I'll just see if we get some momentum just in case. Hesitation is bad as an action for a value.
I'll.
We actually
Or-
should have momentum because it was at difficulty 2 for me, and we got 5 successes. So we should have 4 momentum. Unless
Sorry?
you used any.
Then take a threat. I'm rolling 3.
So. Yeah. Oh, that's 5.
I'm not using determination, so.
Oh, you're
because
not?
You're already
Okay.
you're full. Yeah.
Yeah, after that we're full because that's 2 and 4.
He's doing more typing.
Sorry, I got a lot of science.
Oh, that's good.
I'm just curious as if they passed us their entry visas.
Let's put it this way: Jaw was not about to let the ship be boarded.
We also don't have currency to pay any fees. And there's always fees.
Yeah, no, I was just curious if they sent the documents. We are
That's-
so illegal immigrants right now.
Looks like they did. We have a full codex X of something called Alamond and Law. I suppose reading through that later will be interesting.
I don't
would
think you
enjoy
get
reading
to be...
that.
Go ahead.
I was
Okay. Doctor, as you're working away, you do find that a lot of the crew is you're able to stabilize the crew, and thankfully, no one dies, despite the very serious burns that everyone took. And at one point, someone actually was beginning to die of third-degree burns that were that started at 2nd degree, but then sped up suddenly because of the chronoton surges, and it started like their injury just got worse right in front of you, and you just had to very quickly continue working on that. You'd switch from one person over to another and work on that person.
This is gonna be a tricky ship to handle. We'll
Yeah,
get it
I would-
right eventually.
Yeah, I'll definitely want to know more about this Chronoton purge later. But from what I saw on that ship, it has a temporal warp core or support craft that's akin to shuttles or possible fighters, transphasic shielding, a blade of armor, all sorts of fun stuff. The computers are reading that this ship is a known design, but it's behind a black wall of the previous commander of this ship, Admiral Corbin Trailblazer. So this ship has encountered this species before, but for some reason was classified.
Yep, I think we're getting a hail. believe is what that noise was.
Apparently, the codex is updating itself. Like it's getting it. It's like it's part of some sort of. It automatically started asking for an update and was confused why it couldn't.
Yeah, let's shut that down. We don't need a random book yelling into space asking for directions.
Easily shut down, no roll, because you're too far away from any significant.
Okay. Okay, based on the level of technology I'm seeing, and can I do a scan? Can I ask? Can I ask if there's any chronoton shift on this ship that would imply that is not from this current and time period?
You're asking if it's a ship out of time, more or
Yeah,
less.
if it's a ship out of time.
That'll be one of your free questions. It does seem to be. It seems to exist in multiple frames of time, but there seems the primary, or rather, the majority of the ship seems to be from this time period, current time period. It, or rather, it coalesces. Yes, from current time period.
Oh God, we're fighting Archer's temporal Cold War. She
Oh,
doesn't say that. That's not a character.
that's out of character.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one question. What else? It does not appear here to be chasing us.
That we know of. Did we get any medical files that the doctor might find interesting? Biology, genetics.
Sensors confirm the ship is not in approach, but it could be on standby. There's no reason why it is not chasing us.
Alright. But yeah, have that be one of your questions is, did we get any biology or genetics?
Yeah, I'll ask that. Any biological or genetic information and that we got from that scan about who this race is?
Processing power on this ship is leaving a lot to be desired.
Access denied. Admiral clearance required. That is gonna get annoying really fast.
It really is. I don't want to do this and break the whole ship.
Yeah, last time we tried overriding Admiral clearance, we got locked out, and that would be a terrible thing to do right now.
I would like to go to the bridge.
Ellen will approach the bridge, bringing him in.
Garrix will follow.
I
do also have the con set a course for Narendra.
I wanted to I wanted to approach a panel and to pull up a trajectory of the ship's course. I want to know, because I don't know if in character I know where we're going yet.
You can go to Science 2 to verify that.
Then I'll verify that we're heading to Narendra.
I would love to look over the documents they sent us to see what their bureaucratical structure is like.
I suppose that could be arranged once we look over it, make sure there's nothing too nefarious about it.
I'm going to ask for those verifying where you're going. A reason con, difficulty 3, assisted by computers con. Is Wash back in the?
No, I
Yes.
think Wash. Oh, he is. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I went and checked on the kids, and now I'm back.
Okay.
Alan or Washburn, you can take primary, and the other can assist. As you're
You
both
might-
you're both going to want to check the same thing. What was that, Alan? Go ahead.
I sent you a message that may change things.
Oh, never mind. Hold on.
Oh, we still do have one question too. Yeah.
Yeah, Commander. Anything else you want me to pour over this information?
Correction.
Don't think we have anything.
Washburn and Selena, one of you can take primary, one of you can take assist. Alan's to verify course, you are doing a Reason Con difficulty 3, assisted by computer.
It would be Wash taking the primary, I think, on this one. He is the pilot. This is what he does.
Yep, spend a momentum to get 3. Focus is fast ships and strange new worlds. That's what the fuck we're doing. And there you go.
Got one
GM,
from
could
the
I make
ship.
this a science sensors roll?
Say again, sorry.
Can I make this an insight science roll using sensors to verify the
Sure.
core?
I took primary. We have 4 so far.
Let's do this. Let's rack up the momentum. Why not? That's all the momentum. All of it.
Difficulty was 3, so you gain 2.
Yep, already accounted for.
Destination, according to I'm gonna shoot this.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a question being asked of me?
We're still debating what our third question should be.
Oh, okay.
For science, yeah.
Yeah.
Tactical capabilities of the ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Tactical capabilities of the ship. Offensive.
Processing. Offensive capabilities. The ship seems to have a sort of a cannon battery as its primary attack system. It also seems to have but that cannon racing battery, sorry, I should say, is more focused on repelling a small craft. It does have a quantum torpedo-alike system. But its primary offensive capability seems to be like a carrier ship that holds a large amount of fighter or shuttle-like craft.
Interesting. I'm sure the Everest would love to hear about this.
Can I have a role-playing moment when you guys are done?
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, Captain,
Yes.
and it'll be that moment where you guys are talking to tactical and science and stuff like that, and I will interrupt you. Not in the rude way, of course, still, but and I'll be like, Captain, this takes precedence.
Yes, Ensign.
The ship was heading to Narinda, but there's been a command override. Now we're heading to Earth, and our whole galactic center is moved. But and so initially there was an override. It was heading to Earth. Then the galactic center has moved, and now the course is unknown. The ship is going somewhere we have no clue.
I'm gonna turn back to Alan. So, trying to hijack the ship.
permission to stop the ship, sir? Or Captain?
Yeah, drop us out of warp.
Okay, I will try to do so.
I'll have you roll Daring Con difficulty.
Daring Con.
And
Difficulty
you're
what?
gonna difficulty 1. You're also gonna burn 1 power, assisted by ship's engines.
Okay, and value, I can fly anything?
If you are you spending determination for that?
No, to get focus.
Oh no, you can just
Focuses
use
are one thing,
focus.
values are another.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the wrong one. Sorry. Okay.
You should
I
have
think I went
Helm's
the wrong column.
operation as a
Yeah,
focus.
that's.
And
Gotcha,
what's
never
the
mind.
ship rolling? Engines what?
And I'm spending momentum.
Engines con.
Yes, spend a momentum.
Oh, nice.
Engines con.
We just got all of it back, and then some.
And that was difficulty 1, so 3, 4.
Not only did he drop us out of warp, he crazy Ivan'd us out of warp.
Well, we have 2 extra momentum on deck.
Sensors read that you guys have come to full stop. The alien craft is currently at extreme range. Like you went to warp and it stayed with you, but it didn't. But according to sensors, it isn't moving. It's just there. Like the moment you stopped, it stopped at extreme.
Temporal mechanics.
Can I verify that on the computers, or is that there was no apparent motion?
It's obvious to you. Yeah, it looks like they did. There's no sense of inertia or movement. It's like you were warping away, and then when you stopped, they appeared at extreme range.
I'm getting really tired of this ship.
Looks like we have a tail.
What kind of engines is that thing running?
I would like to look at those engines.
Temporal.
Apparently, it's got a
Theoretical.
temporal drive of some kind.
Oh, playing with chronoton's never a good idea.
And Wash is immediately going to start working on navigation computer to get us reset from whoever's been fiddling with our stuff. And using astro navigation to do so.
Give me a reason con difficulty 3, assisted by ship's sensors con.
And then using astro navigation as a focus, spending momentum to get through. Oh no! And so I will use.
2 momentum, or unless you have cautious.
No, I have bold. So yeah, wrong one.
Spend 2 momentum.
So spend 2 to get rid of that complication.
Spend 2 momentum.
You try to plot a course, but you can't seem to get a good read on where you need to go. You've moved in a weird place since you're having a hard time getting your bearings.
I want to do a sensor scan on that ship, see if they have anything to do with our odd course, if their temporal engines are messing with our warp drive or something.
You can give me a roll known as Reason Science, difficulty 1, assisted by ship's sensors.
I would like to
Sensors
look
what?
at
On the ship sensor what?
science.
Sensor science.
Okay.
I would like
also-
to look.
Somebody
Oh,
do
sorry.
the roll first, please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let him roll.
I also have a focus in warp field mechanics.
I will give you that. I believe that is a bank of 2 momentum. And the ship does not appear to be responsible for what's happening to you. It's reacting to you, but it's not the reason why you're doing this. Its temporal field is contained to itself. It's not projecting it or
Alan.
Yeah, I kind of do look back at Alan. Well, you've been on this ship the longest. Has this happened before?
I
That,
say ahead.
that information is irrelevant.
I'd say it's perfectly relevant in this situation.
Yeah, did you do it? Did you change your navigation? Sorry, Captain.
I would have that very same question, Ensign.
I have no interest in returning to Narendra.
Well, we do.
And
That'll
there
be our
we
first
go.
stop. We can head
Well,
to
we're-
we can head to Narendra, and then if you want to go from there, there's plenty of ships leaving.
However, this is a Federation starship. And where the Federation wants us to go is where we go. We can't just be out in open space.
Selena, it does appear that the systems that there has been odd movement, as if time has passed, or not passed. That's
Captain,
Yes.
we are out of our current time. That is why our course is incorrect.
Can you tell by how much time?
Stand by. GM.
stand by.
I
Message
have-
it. Medbay has provided a threat.
Oh boy.
Gearix, you can give me a daring engineering roll. Alan, I want you to roll for me insight engineering. This is
I'm spending 3 momentum. I'm sorry, for 2 extra dice.
you can't spend my threat to mine.
I think it has something to do with our power output for it, but I'm not sure.
So
Yeah, I just saw that on the ship. I don't know if that would do anything, but
wait, did you? What am I doing?
Insight engineering. Something's happening to you.
Am I okay? Then I will spend the 3 momentum for 2 dice. And does cybernetics focus help?
I will say no.
Computers.
Computers, yes.
how much momentum are you using?
All of it.
All of it.
Goodness.
Oh Lord.
Well, I
Don't get much
tried.
better than that.
Oh, nasty PvP.
Alan, I'm going to tell you something. I have to type something up.
Do we bank any momentum off this? Or
Sure, I'll give you 2 momentum. Do not get used to that.
that was a lot.
Captain, we are 3 months off of our current time.
Wait, what?
Really?
Can I verify that?
Computer verifies.
Son of a bitch.
Thoughts exactly.
It would appear that the warp field dynamics has somehow been interfered with by chronoton emissions.
Now I wonder if it's our own or the enemy ship. But my Latinum's on our own. The enemy ship doesn't seem to be following it. Unless
The enemy ship is able to track us.
I-
So I would
I
say
wonder
that
if
they
they-
have some insight.
wonder or if they tracked us or if they've just been cruising through space for the last 3 months and just happened to be there.
The real question is, though, did this happen? Was what exactly what triggered it? I mean, and is it continuing to happen? Are we outside of space time presently? By space time, of course, I mean the normal flow of space time.
Because it's all relative.
Continuing to look at the orbital positions of the nearby planet.
Yeah, I would like a updated star chart if we can find a way to get one.
And
Lieutenant
yes, you
Jolson?
always have one.
Oh, and Wash. Yes, please.
I will
Our
pull out my
astronavigation
little
whiz.
flash drive that always has the current shit up to date. Plug that in.
Garrix, can you run a diagnostic on our warp core? Or
Certainly.
warp engines?
Actually, I'll plug that into a pad because I don't want it to suddenly be outwritten by somebody who's been messing with our engines. So I'll actually plug that into a firewall device. Be like, and then keep it secret. Then be the butthead that's secret and walk over to the captain and be like, look.
Ensign gets
Only
10
you.
points. Ensign gets 10 points.
Would it be an insight science or a reason science in determining are we outside the flow of time or did we return to the time?
Sorry, I delayed myself. Alan, you were waiting on me. Sorry. You
Sorry,
noticed that there
before-
was Alan, you noticed that there was a sudden surge of energy coming up from your console, and it came from Garrix's station, or rather, he was programming it to fire off at you. But you're able
Is
to.
he how close to me is he?
I don't know. Close range, medium range.
Like it does matter if he's how close he is.
I'll say medium. You'd have to cross the room to get to him.
Without doing much, I'm going to record the surge, and I want to play back. I want to force the main screen to play back a recording of him attempting to attack me, and then I'm gonna point the phaser rifle at him.
I was just pushing buttons.
I will step in between the two gentlemen.
I tap my combat security to the bridge.
Right here, they say the guys with the rifles, and they look unsure who to point at, and they actually seem kind of dazed and confused.
Now, before anything escalates, gentlemen, what seems to be the problem?
You have a crew member who just attempted homicide.
Oh no, I was only attempting to disable you.
You have a crew member that just attempted assault. That could have very well led to homicide.
Cool.
Yeah.
Assault does not beget result. Assault.
Mr.
Well,
Allen.
I assume on a planet, if you come into a contact with a Klingon who attempts to assault you, you will not take appropriate action to remain unassaulted, even if that means assaulting him in return.
Question for the GM. I'm standing right by the tactical station. Is there any possible way I can deactivate the weapons on the bridge?
Do you mean the phasers?
Yes.
Yes. Difficulty would be like 5, security plus daring.
Okay.
Can I assist with that from my console?
Who's asking this?
Jolson?
I will have to say no. You're not at a good station for it. Sorry, let me put it this way. You could, but you'd increase the complication for both you to 2.
Not worth it.
I got this. I'm going to use my determination, either fight over flight or honor above all.
I'll give you honor above all.
Okay. And I am going to give you all the threat to max out the dice I can use. Composure focus? Or no, probably not.
Changing the difficulty, sorry. It is now an opposed roll.
Okay.
You said composure. I will have to say no.
That's fine. What about hand phasers? Since I would know their frequencies.
I'll give you
them
that.
down. Okay.
What's the roll again?
I don't think it'll matter.
Daring security.
I'm gonna spend a threat and 2 momentum. And
The doc's just saving lives
Can
while
I
I'm
use-
trying to disarm in the
can I use
situation.
computers?
Yes.
And I want to re-roll 1-0 because I have bold security.
You didn't beat 6.
You spent a determination?
I did.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
That's
I
your
knew.
own fault. I'm just picking on you, dude. And, yeah.
I would think that ship out there is a bigger threat than the pissing contest behind us.
Mr. Allen, I'm going to be perfectly clear with you right now. I have a wife and 5 small children on this vessel. The fact that you seem to think that you can just override our destination and at your leisure is not going to be appreciated.
However, Lieutenant, I will not have another member of this crew attack another member of this crew, no matter what their intentions. As for you, Mr. Allen...
The security personnel collapsed to the floor.
Son of a bitch. Alright, and she hits her comm. Sick bay, we have a medical emergency on the bridge.
A little busy. I'll be up there right as soon as I can.
And I will go over and try and see how the person is. Mr. Allen.
I will.
However,
I will throw the phaser rifle at Garrix. Like not like an intentionally gonna like knock him over, but definitely like he might stumble if he tries to grab it. And then
there's a hissing sound.
What?
Okay. Apparently there's a hissing sound on the bridge. At which
All of a
point...
sudden, the security personnel start waking up.
I am targeting any weapons that are on the bridge, and I am transporting them off the bridge. Fuck this.
Oh, they're
And yes, as
disabled.
ops, I can do.
They're disabled. I disabled them. No, none of anybody who has a phaser on the bridge, none of them work.
Hissing sound on the bridge. All right, I begin. I retcon that.
Internal sensors.
Yeah, I'm gonna run a diagnostic on the. On the environmental controls. Make sure there's nothing, no kind of gas in here.
There is something I want you to do, Selena.
Command orders from Medbay. Seems to be an administration of some sort of chemical. When the chemical was released, it coincided with the security personnel waking up.
Oh, very good.
Doc, was that you?
Yes, it was.
1 second.
I'll explain in a moment. I'm on my way to the bridge.
On the double, oh, we have a Noxican and standoff up here.
Now. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
The security guards look around, and they all kind of start standing up, and they look around, and then they start looking at the rifles, and they seem unsure what to do. They are very confused, but they're lucid. They're just not sure what just happened to them.
Are you all right?
Yeah. It just I couldn't figure out where or when I was. I'm fine now, sir. Sorry. And my rifle doesn't seem to be working. Yours, Jim? No, mine's not working either.
They wouldn't work, gentlemen. I disabled them.
Oh. Aye, sir. Orders, sir?
For right now, do you have quarters on this ship? Have you chosen quarters?
Yes, sir.
Both of you go lay down.
Aye, sir. Doctor steps in when they step out.
I apologize. I totally forgot what I was going to ask you to do. Selena, I apologize.
The doctor begins, like,
perfectly
scanning the bridge crew.
Doctor, I'd love an explanation for what just happened on my bridge.
Do you remember
imagine it would
the,
have to do with the-
do you remember the intense, the emotional stress the crew has been experiencing lately?
Yes.
Well, the cause of it is just not nerves, but in fact it's due to temporal displacement.
I suppose we've all been affected because of our apparent 3-month time jump.
That would be most accurate.
We're gonna need to come up with some kind of countermeasures to the chronoton radiation. It's gonna tear this place apart if we don't do something soon.
Well, in fact, the formula used to stop the agitation was already in the database.
So it was a known effect.
Yes. I simply just took the formula used and made it into an airborne toxin, and rapidly distributed throughout the ship.
Huh. Well, I'm glad at least that's one problem figured out. Second, Ensign Wash, can you please see if you can find out where we are in space? See if you can get an updated star chart. And I look at Alan. And then set a course for Narendra. and I look back at Alan. We are getting the civilians off this ship, and if we're ordered to go elsewhere, we will go elsewhere. You do not have to stay on Narendra.
You seem to think I might have a choice.
While
As
you're
long
on the
as you're
ship,
on this ship, you have a choice.
Well, I will gladly keep that under advisement when you make it to the High Court of the Federation. But until such time, I place little value in that statement.
What are you insinuating, Mr. Allen?
He looks at you like you should know, like it's plainly obvious.
Our friend Mr. Allen here is an android.
Well, yes, I got that.
Okay. Well, if you've read anything on the one android in Starfleet, they aren't treated very well.
I believe that was settled. Huh? Ah, I see. I see.
And if we were any other crew, I'm sure we would have taken the ship and ran. But we are Starfleet, and we have to at least let people know we're alive.
You have a high opinion of the current status of Starfleet to think that half of them are pirates.
Known my fair share of bad command officers.
Captain, at this time, we still can't get bearing to Narendra. It's like looking through a distorted image in a lake. Every time I try to get close to what should be a bearing, it's inconsistent. Nothing's locking in. Until we get that figured out, we're unable to go anywhere.
I suggest we shut down the engine completely.
GM, I'm still trying to get the manual, which was what that check was for. Like, seriously, I'm going star system by star system and manually mapping out which is which.
Oh, that's what you're rolling, Selena.
Yeah.
I misread what you meant, your intention.
Alright, well then... Did you do anything to our navigation computers, Mr. Allen?
I changed our destination to Earth, a place where I can blend in.
You seem to have a high value on your inconspicuousness.
Don't patronize me, it's nothing paint can't solve.
Very well. Lieutenant Garrix,
Yes, Captain.
do you believe you can put aside your differences with Mr. Allen, and the same goes with you for Lieutenant Garrix?
Bank 2 momentum from what Selena was doing.
Okie dokie.
Roger.
I can forget.
And try and get the engines shut down until we can figure out how to get our stuff realigned. I apologize, the technobabble just left my brain.
In the meanwhile, Ensign Wash, can you maybe at least get us as in orbit of that D-class planet on impulse power? At least put us on the far side from this ship.
We could see that, so most likely.
We should be able to do manual course corrections.
I'd recommend us not going to warp until we can fix this, but impulse drive should be fine.
Lieutenant Garrix, I think from here I can help you to power down most of the non-critical systems.
Shutting down the engine shouldn't be too difficult. After all, we have someone who seems to be more familiar with, pretty familiar with.
Yeah, I don't trust that man any farther than I can throw him.
Look.
You tend not to trust me, but you tend to trust someone who's just attempted murder.
And at this point, I go to my chair and I hit the shipboard intercom. This is Lieutenant Commander Jaw. I understand that everybody's a little on edge. However, to get home, we will all need to work together and put aside our issues if we're all going to survive this. Now, I understand that a lot of you are civilians. At the same time, I do expect you to act in conjunction with the Federation staff on board in order to get us all home safely. With that being said, everybody on this ship will respect one another. I will not hesitate to put any troublemakers in the brig. Now, I understand how stressed everyone is. We just have to keep it together to make it through this. Lieutenant Commander Jaw out, and she cuts the ship-wide comm.
You can give me a roll of command presence, difficulty 0.
Okay. Diplomacy?
Sure.
I'll spend a momentum, why not? Now we're just waiting for the roll to come through. Oh, well, I guess I don't spend a momentum, but there you go.
Sure, you can roll one more.
Nah, it's fine.
All right. So we'll just go to a total 4.
I just wanted to leave something up to the chance to see how impressed I was.
Okay.
Doctor, if you have all the emergency medicine and done, I would like to start cycling in all the crew and civilian in through for radiation checks, and then let's get them quarters.
The staff.
Actually,
You have to wait a little
sorry.
bit for sick bay. We're still dealing with the injured. It'll take some time before the radiation starts to affect them, but there's plenty of inoculations already created in sick bay.
I would like to get everyone through sick bay anyways, just to double check for injuries and side effects being on the planet before we start assigning them quarters.
Speaking of
I
assigning
would suggest you
quarters,
probably use the mess hall as it's sort of a treatment center for the time being. I currently have several wounded that cannot be moved in sick bay right now, and the sick bay is very small.
Mess hall is yours.
if you need it, also take Cargo Bay 1. If there's room.
Captain, and I would like to start working on this right away, just so we can get these people someplace home.
Yes, please, if you can work with the ensign and see about working out why our astronavigation isn't working.
Static position behind the planet verified.
Thank you, ensign.
Now let's get to shutting off those engines.
Yes. And after the civilians and crew go through sick bay, I want Selena, if you could arrange quarters for everybody. Please.
Are there any security officers left on the bridge?
None at this
Probably.
time.
Besides me.
I can see to that right away, Captain.
I look at the captain and I require one security officer.
4.
Protection.
Very well. And I assigned the one with the highest engineering score.
Captain,
Yes.
if he feels threatened, I'm sure he would not mind if a Vulcan accompanied him to and fro.
Do you have any objections, Alan? Or would you prefer a security officer?
You don't see any reaction. It's just a blank stare waiting for you to explain why that would matter.
Well then, if
What?
there's no objections, then Selena, if you would like to be Mr. Allen's bodyguard, by all means.
Oh, I
And
thought
she says
Selena.
that with a smirk.
Yeah,
I thought
was,
Selena was.
Ferengi.
Oh, you're Vulcan raised on Ferengi, aren't you?
Yeah, Ferengi.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one-
I am confused.
I didn't realize that, so I thought you were just saying a random Vulcan.
Yeah, I was okay.
Oh, check
Nope.
your messages.
And
Selena.
you have no idea where I was raised because you're not part of this crew.
Selena, check your messages. Tara sent you something.
Oh, okay. Captain,
Yes. Yes.
I am receiving a most disturbing distress call from our alien friends.
On screen.
I put it up on the screen if possible.
Audio only. Emergency! Emergency! Ship non-functional. Please aid. Emergency! Emergency! Please send help. Emergency! Emergency!
At the same time, we can't just leave them out here stranded.
We must repair the engines first.
You guys get on.
Don't we
that.
have a shuttlecraft?
We do.
We have several shuttlecraft.
I suggest you refrain. If you leave this ship, you may not be able to return within 1,000 years of this ship being here. Due to
Also,
the
I
time
would
effect.
agree with that. If we leave this ship, Temporal and Chronoton could change everything for each of us. We need to stay together.
Can I verify that?
What are you verifying again? Sorry.
If leaving the ship would cause as a temporal incongruity in between the away team and the ship.
I love Star Trek sometimes.
And
You gotta
again,
be
we're not
real
saying that
careful
it
when
is-
people start messing with time.
And we're not saying that it is a probability. We're saying it's a possibility, which is just as bad.
I will give you an insight science roll. You can be assisted by ships.
And can I use my focus in quantum mechanics?
Yes, and ship assist via computers.
What's the difficulty?
I'll say 2.
I heard computers, but did you say science? It's for the ship?
Computer science, yes.
All right.
and to Selena, yes, the more eyes on getting us home, the better. So, if you would like to help them, yes. She will give her permission.
For what?
Alan, would you care to assist?
To help y'all get astronavigation back, I think.
I will just turn around to the science
Let's wait on
station
that for a second, please.
and
Yep.
start assisting.
We will hold off on that for a little bit. All right.
Hold off on what?
Well, I
Navigation.
kind of want to know what the answer to his question is.
Oh, sorry. I thought someone else was assisting Jolson. My mistake.
Oh no.
To answer your question, there does seem to be a temporal distortion within within a 10 light year radius, and that ship seems to be at the edge. So from you to them, space seems stable, but the alien craft seems to be caught between the distortion and stable time or space time.
So where the hell are we? Inside the distortion?
You're
What?
in the star system that you originally crashed in. That is stable. That one reads roughly to your chronometer. Sorry, it corresponds with your chronometer. But everything past 10 light years is distorted, and the distortion gets worse the further away from you again.
Can I ask for a clarification? When you say 10 light years around us and radius, do you mean that we are at the center?
Yes.
I
We need to turn
posit
that engine
that
off.
we need to shut the engines off.
Yes, please.
I agree. Right away. Come on.
Garrix, make it happen.
I kind of hesitantly follow Garrick's, kind of waiting
Selena,
for
if you
someone
would
else.
accompany them, please.
On the way.
I will clarify that you can shut that stuff down from the engineering station at the bridge.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, that makes it easier.
then I'll
Okay,
Rinka,
let's
I
do
was
that
gonna
then.
say, I could turn off the power right now.
We
Let's
don't-
not cut the power suddenly and swiftly. No, that's going to be. Yeah, don't just pull the plug. Something.
Something a
Cascading
little more
failure.
refined than
Well,
that.
you could just shut off the flow of antimatter.
Okay. Let's do a full. Let's do a full warp core shutdown. Warp core shutdown for the warp engine shutdown. Right.
Control engineering difficulty 2, assisted by ship's engines engineering.
We got one from the ship.
Do I assist?
You can. There's a free engineering station.
Did Selena already assist? I'm not sure about all the tasks. There are lots of them.
Yeah, Selena, were you assisting or?
Sorry, I kicked my Discord out, but it was still on. I'm rolling to shut off the antimatter flow and the plasma flow into the warp core slowly, so as to not cause a breach.
And use the momentum.
I did use one momentum, yes.
I guess
Okay.
we need a GM ruling on whose counts.
I'm going to create an advantage that if Garrick had failed, Selena's roll would have provided a chance for a way to stop me from basically trying to blow up the ship.
Okay.
So, Alan, you can assist to add more to the momentum. It's a generation of 2 momentum, I count.
Okay.
That sounds correct.
We are up to 5.
You're able to shut down the engines, and the core itself. At that point, the distortion goes away, and the alien craft is still sending out the general distress, but it isn't caught between time.
Well, Jal, shall we see if we can make friends a second time?
10 light years is a long way away at impulse.
It really is. Yes, Selena, open a comms to the alien ship, please.
Hailing frequencies open, Captain.
This is Lieutenant Commander Shaw to alien vessel. We are here to render assistance if possible. Can you please give us a
Status report?
Yeah, status
Sit
report.
rep.
Sorry. My mind blanked. I apologize, yes.
Control engineering difficulty 1, Selena, to ensure that the ship did actually receive.
Is Victoria assisting?
Uh-oh.
Nope. But spend 2 momentum to get rid of the complication.
Ship assists via communications engineering.
They didn't. He didn't succeed.
Don't matter.
right.
That's a blank.
Yeah.
Selena, do you have anything to reroll your dice? Maybe.
Not for a communications check.
But you could spend the 2 momentum to negate the complication.
We did.
We did.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you send out the hail, but it doesn't. Either the other side is tuned to the wrong frequency,
Oh,
or
wait.
they're using a different tool. Sorry.
Maybe I do, but it depends on if this is a.
No. I don't think it would be. Because you're trying to make the connection.
Depending if this is a what? Sorry.
Diplomacy check.
No.
Then
No, you would not get a reroll for that. You would have to have technical expertise to reroll if you're using the ship's sensors or computers.
I think the only way to reroll would be if you spent determination, which I think you spent already.
I did spend determination already,
Captain.
and that would not be a roll I would waste it on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, if he
Third-
wanted to, you could give him the determination.
I already spent mine too.
Ah. No veteran?
Nope.
Ooh.
I was not aware I was going to be captain.
You're
Th-
bamboozled.
This is okay. This is greed is eternal is one of my not my values, my that's one of my talents. My value would be always keep your ears open for profit.
To get a determination back, you would need to challenge or effectively burn away one of your existing values, and to gain the determination.
Yeah, I'm not doing it for this role though.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just saying that's sort of one of my values. So I'm saying to the crew,
Oh,
this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for us.
If we can and get them on the radio.
Well, unless we can boost comms somehow. I mean, otherwise, we're
I
still stuck
have an
here.
idea, Captain.
Yes.
It's strange.
Yes.
Why don't we send a probe with a communications boost? We'd have to do a little bit of surgery to it, and then it would give us time to cohesively come back together as a crew.
Yes, work on it, but I'm not sure how long that ship has, or if it's already gone. But yes, work on it. Modify a
Nor am I.
subspace buoy.
Mr. Allen, would you care to assist with that?
Sure. And I'll turn around to the engineering console. And start hitting away at the L-cars.
Stop hitting things.
They're
As-
my
as
buttons. I can hit my buttons if I want to hit my buttons.
As in, Mr. Allen, to actually go down and physically alter the probe so that it can make a communication signal.
How wonderfully outdated this ship is. And it's very dry. And he leaves.
I follow. As your bodyguard, I would suggest a working relationship.
You
The
don't,
emotional
like,
Vulcan and the emotionless person.
like he absolutely doesn't care at the offer of a relationship, whatever that means. That's how he feels about it.
He's essentially Data without the emotion chip and the desire to become human. I think.
I don't know why I would want to become human.
It's worse. He's not Data. He's Lore.
Mm-hmm.
But Lore without the emotion chip.
Oof.
I mean, Lore was definitely worse because he had the emotions chip.
I do want you to do that, please. I don't want to fire up the warp core and end up 100 years in the future.
Okay.
I did want to at some point try to do some research to see if I could contain that.
Yeah, I think that's a priority for everyone at this point. So the question is, are we going to do anything about the distress call?
We're gonna do the buoy and establish communication, and then render aid if we can.
I feel like we can accomplish all of this in engineering.
Yes.
And I'm waiting for Lieutenant Garrix to move.
Lieutenant
Yes,
Garrix,
indeed.
if you would join them.
Very well, Captain.
Yep.
Any other actions on the bridge?
Yeah, I would like to start our running through our computers. There's about the temporal phenomenon, if we cause it, and how we can prevent it.
You will get another shot at this if you whiff, but it's going to be a difficulty 5 science and reason roll.
Science reason. All right.
Assisted by ship's science computers.
Feel free to max out your dice if you have to.
Oh, I'm going to. Science computers. I'm going to. Okay, so if I spend
3 momentum, give them 3 threat, and you can still use bold.
Okay. So spend all 3 momentum. And that gives me how many dice?
That'll give you 3 dice. You give him 3 threat, you'll get 3 more. Or the other 2. Sorry.
Okay, so 2 threat.
No, give him. Are you
No,
saying
you're
like
giving him
determination?
3 threat. 3
You're giving him
3 threat.
He's rolling 5 dice.
Okay,
actually-
3 momentum. To roll 5
Okay.
dice.
And also I want to use one of my determinations.
Well, then you got to cut that down to 4 because you can
Yeah.
only have 5 dice.
Yeah, I'll cut that down to 4.
Still same number
So-
of dice.
How
2
much
threat.
determination am I getting? Threat am I getting? 2.
3.
2.
Oh, it's 2.
2.
Okay.
2. The 5 dice spend. Or 5
Not bad.
token spend.
I will adhere to the GMs.
Okay, so I have 5 dice. Focus of quantum mechanics.
You roll 4 dice on your task roll. One of them basically auto succeeded. It got a 1.
Okay.
And quantum mechanics will be a valid focus.
Okay, and my value is I don't believe in the unknowable, just the undiscovered.
I will give you that.
Do you have
Alright.
bold science?
I have
Reroll the
bold
complication.
science. I'm gonna re-roll that complication.
Still
Okay.
made it.
And then the computer.
That's 5.
That is
Nice.
5. Yes.
No.
No, 7.
7 with my eye determination. All right.
Woot.
Question was again.
We want to try and reverse or prevent what just happened to us when we use warp.
Yeah, try to prevent and reverse and or reverse the temporal phenomenon.
I'm going to type something to you. Is anyone else on the bridge doing something?
If the
Besides-
well, my part is as long as the warp engine. Sorry, the engine is down. There's no displacement, and everything astronavigation is fine for me. So my thing is whether I do. I mean, I would be doing navigation and astronavigation and getting plotting courses, etc., and all of that. But my problem is if we have a temporal thing, it's not as if any of the recordings from astronavigation is going to help us, because that's the point. It's displaced. So I need to come up with something that, if displaced, how I'm still able as a pilot to fly. I know that's not that's not the problem with the displacement. Is still just going forward doesn't make any difference. So because that's the point of the displacement, the stars are not in the correct place. That's what I'm trying to get around.
Could it be something like knowing how much of the shift has happened, you can recalculate?
Something to that effect. So that's what I would be working on. So even if I'm often the room with the thing, yes, the good one, I'll be there.
He's basically looking at the stars going, oh, that should have been there 3 months ago, or 3 months in the future, or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm going to get that all put onto a pad so that when the computers and all that go bad, my pad is still in form.
Yeah. He's basically continuing what I did, so he should have
Yes, I know.
some mechanic.
Yep.
Lots of typing and reading occurs on the bridge.
Yes. The captain is just sitting in center chair, wondering how her great grandfather did this.
By murdering people?
Sorry, I'm being an uber nerd right now.
I want to turn to Selena and ask very monotonous, in a very monotone fashion. The probability of meeting a Vulcan who values greed is low.
I wonder if Selena's muted.
It might be a possibility.
I am so used to not having to do this. Of course, I'm also so used to being GM all the time. The probability of meeting a person such as yourself in all of the star systems of all the universe is equally as low.
It looks like he takes a second to make some calculations, and he's just looking at you while walking, like not even paying attention to where he's walking, just like looking at you. And then he's like, it is close. At least close enough for a biological being to understand.
You do realize that for a starship to work properly, its crew must work properly.
You seem to operate at a high efficiency. Not mechanical, definitely biological, but a high efficiency for someone who's biological.
Well, upbringing as it was, my gender, not so much my biology, was not very highly valued by our employers. So I spent most of the time with a teacher, a grandmother, Nan. Nan taught the children while
Find the
the
difficulty
adults went off and
degrees of
play.
this in those momentum.
Was there Are we assisted? Me and Selena?
Yes. One moment.
Oh, I have a role here because I was role playing.
Yeah, an assist on a control engineering.
What is my assist? I never know if I'm pushing.
It just means a task roll of 1.
I also rolling control engineering. Am I rolling?
Yeah, it's right above. It's like 4 or 5 messages up.
Do you have bolt con, don't you?
And I also need a ship sensors and con help.
Wilson got it.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Sensors con already up there. Com engines.
Spend 2 momentum to get rid of that complication.
Well, those 2 momentum are already gone.
Okay.
GM, communications and engines is not possible. They're both systems. I think you mean engines engineering?
Communications engineering is what I think he meant.
Oh,
Communications engineering. Yeah, that's what I meant.
communications engineering. All right, someone else can take it.
I got it. So, me and Selena are up to 4.
And Wash has got 3.
So resolving Selena Allen generated 2 momentum if my count.
Sounds right.
Cancel out Wash's complication.
Wash, do you want to do that?
Sorry, say that again.
There's 2
Cancel out
momentum on. There's 2 momentum on the table. You can spend them to make your complication.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, please.
I thought we already did.
No, I
No,
spent
no.
I spent the first 2 momentum just to roll because I had the highest difficulty, so they were
Okay.
gone.
All right.
Thank you, Jolson.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, and we will get to what news you have for me in just a second.
Yeah,
Uh,
this needs to be live play, but
Resolve very quickly here before Jolson says something. Selena Allen, you're able to construct the probe that you're trying to get working. Wash, as you're trying to figure it out. For now, you get the feeling you could try this again another time, but for now, it's hard to figure out to get the courses that you need to figure out how to get around it beyond what you already know.
You know, usually I have no problem with this, but for some reason the kids are on my mind because, you know, we're on a new ship, everything's bumpy.
Yeah, you try doing advanced calculus and astrometrics when you're thinking about life and death.
Right.
I could really do it in my house.
Right, and we have 12 kids on the ship.
You know,
you almost had less.
That is.
Do not remind me. That's just not
very dark.
You have right
Joe
now.
would not have let that happen.
I mean, you did let them blow up consoles in random places on the ship, so you kind of did let it happen.
Yeah.
Jolson, feel free to go ahead.
Yes.
Captain?
Yes,
Commander?
Lieutenant.
Either works. So, I think I found our solution to our temporal problem.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Our alien friends over there, it appears that they have some critical tech needed for our temporal drive. I just did a analysis our temporal coolant system, and their temporal oil system seems to be a near match. I'm theorizing that it's some sort of hybridization, probably done without their consent, which is why they're so angry at us.
Right.
That explains a lot of stuff.
So
I would definitely guess that whatever this admiral was doing without their consent and was highly classified. That's why all the computers are locked out. I did find some alien tech back on the planet that could work to repair our tempo drives.
But we have to get it from that ship.
From the ship or the planet.
Is this one of those moments we could speak out of character?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, in those senses, like, if we could talk to them and become friends with them somehow and do it, then that would be even better, because maybe they can give us even more information on the technology since we already have it. Now, don't get me wrong, on the other side, they
At the same time, they probably think we're thieves.
Yeah.
We also have a cloaking system, or a near cloaking system.
That is dependent on temporal drive, which is now giving us the fritz.
Me and Selena can handle that. And Garrix.
Let's do the time warp again.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I guess we gotta.
Actually, out of character, I would tell you to launch a recovery mission on the off chance that the aliens do think of us as hostile. We at least will have some of the components we need without. But I'm not there.
At the same time, given the tactical layout, sending a small ship would almost be suicide if their weapons are functioning.
True, but if we do help them, they might be appreciative.
Are we talking?
Aren't they 10 light years away?
No, I thought they were still in the same system.
I'm wondering, are we getting confused? Is the alien carrier the same one as the alien disabled ship?
Yes.
Ah. And that alien carrier is how far away? Is it still by the M-class planet? 10 light years. So definitely need warp drive for that shit.
Shuttles go warp.
Well, yeah, we might still, if we go to warp with our ship, we can come up on them cloaked, and we might be able to board and take what we need.
I don't feel comfortable using the warp drive until we get the parts we need.
Might be.
Alright.
How far away are we from the M-class planet?
like in orbit or near orbit?
No, we're in orbit of another or planet. I thought.
We're in another system.
And out
I
of
would assume.
character, are we thieves?
Same system. You're just at a different planet.
I mean, technically, yes.
Some of us might not have qualms about stealing from them.
Why is everybody all of a sudden looking towards me?
Wait, 10 light years is just an hour?
That's a lifetime.
To M-class planet.
Okay.
Sorry, I was confused.
My bad.
Is there any kind of diagnostic I can try doing to, if not mitigate for the do like a patchwork to mitigate the time displacement for one jump? See if there's a way to do that.
In the same vein, I would like to try to do a little bit of research and see if we can set up a control system to better manage our entrances and exits from warp / cloak.
Well, how about this? At Impulse, we get to the planet, we can still find the parts we need. That was what you said, wasn't it, Lieutenant?
Yep. If the planet's and it's still within range of impulse power, we can and get what we need from the planet. But I suggest as we get the senior staff in on all this once they're done with the probe.
Yeah. She hits the ship intercom and goes, "Senior staff meeting in the conference room in 15 minutes." And she will, I guess, go to her ready room to start typing up any plans she may have, which I'm currently thinking.
I'll go with you.
And then 15 minutes later, we'll go to the conference room.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow them there.
Oh, the senior staff to the conference room?
Well, I assume Garrix is a member of the senior staff.
Yes.
I'm gonna follow Garrix, and if we need to cross a bridge, we'll cross a bridge.
Selena is too, so yeah.
All the players are senior staff, pretty much.
I mean, once we have this probe in, I'm going to go on the way. I'm just doing small talk with.
So
That
All right.
then an answer to your question, Selena, that's above both mine and your security clearances.
How he considers himself to have a birth date, how he considers himself alive.
Well, to tell you when he was constructed.
All right, fair enough.
And I mean, on the question of how do you consider yourself alive, he would just repeat the question back to you.
Well, for biological, you're birthed out of a canal and you take your first breath and you are alive. You would think, you breathe, you learn.
You
Oh,
were
you
a
said
living
cadaver birth?
organism. You were a living organism only 2 minutes before. Why were you not alive then?
I suppose because I have no memory of that moment. And
So life is determined by your ability to remember it.
that's a good way of looking at it. I like that way of looking at it.
That might suggest what you're a lieutenant.
Yeah,
That might
Ignore the
suggest, Lieutenant, that at various periods throughout the existence of your body, you have ceased to be alive because you can no longer remember those times.
this is also equally true, but those are very few and far between. If
All right. So, I think I found out what's going on with our temporal drive, and a bit more, or about the mysterious origins of this vessel. It appears that our alien friends out there has had their air tech stolen from them and incorporated into this ship's its temporal thermal displacement systems, which is probably why our computers keep locking up, and why the admiral who was in command of the ship put such a high security clearance on such critical systems. The good news is that the replacement parts for that temporal core can be found on the M-class planet we just left, and we can get there on impulse power or within an hour and 30 minutes.
So, and the reason I did call this meeting was for everybody to get the information. And also to get thoughts on, an away team. I'm going to put Lieutenant Jolson in charge of it, but I would like everybody's opinions on who should accompany him to the planet to look for the tech that we are missing.
I would like to accompany him.
Okay.
I would like to go as well, Commander. I've been doing work on that warp drive for a while. I should be able to help identify any needed component.
I agree.
And by order of the captain, where Alan goes, I go.
I feel I will relinquish that right, because on leaving this ship, I will be taking a phaser rifle with me, and I do not fear anyone on the team while I have that rifle.
And I need you here, Selena. Because I'm going to need you to keep a monitor on our power just in case anything were to go awry with the engine while they're gone.
Understood.
I would also like Ensign Wash to pilot you guys down.
Understood, Captain.
And Doctor, I assume you still have your hands full in sickbay?
Yes. There are several burn victims currently in sickbay that need to be monitoring.
Alright, then...
We should probably take at least a security personnel as well, just in case our friends come back and don't like us pilfering through their tech.
Speaking of which, I do believe our probe is ready to try to communicate with them.
I'm sure that can be handled once we leave.
Yeah, take Owen with you.
Okay.
And Godspeed, you guys.
Thank you,
Are we
Captain.
taking a shuttle or taking a whole?
We're going to get to Impulse, and you're going to take a shuttle down.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have an hour and a half to get all necessary equipment you need together and leave via the shuttle bay. And come back safe. everybody is dismissed, you know what to do.
Aye,
Aye,
Captain.
Hi, Captain. Now, out of character question: is just as Jamie wondering? Is there a reason why we're not just flying there and teleporting down, or transporting down, find the stuff and transporting back things back up?
Because
Is there something about the atmosphere or something?
no, it's mostly Jal not wanting to take a chance with the temporal effects going on.
Yeah, transporters and chronotons don't get along well. In fact, they get along
That's-
really well.
Yeah, I don't need to send you to 1776 in, DC or something, I figure at least if there's a pilot at the helm, you have a chance of making it to your destination uneventfully.
Heh, temporal mechanics, uneventful. Ha!
Yeah. Yeah, Jolson's leading the away team. So
Alright, do we want to pick up EVA shoots?
I'm
No.
gonna I'm gonna halt the episode here, actually, as you guys are going to be heading to the planet because we're going to pick up there. However, I will say that if you guys want to write up a list of stuff you're going to prepare, I'm not going to have you spend out any opportunity because you have a lot of time to pick out your stuff. So if you want to have a shopping list of what you're bringing with you, feel
Absolutely.
The ship.
the ship.
Just we're gonna
afraid-
we're gonna tow the entire ship down with the shuttlecraft again.
I'm afraid that Jal will not let that ship enter that atmosphere ever again. Of her
I
own free
mean-
will.
If you say anything, it wouldn't happen to include a Prometheus, would it? Because I'll take one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, so would she.
for some
but
reason the away team is dead. No,
all of a sudden,